How's it going? It's man tomorrow here. Can you hit the like button while coming in? I know it's fantastic out of stream right now, but this is a substantive conversation that needs to be had because we need to check these dudes at the door. What's going on, yo? Street sale. What's going on? Like, I don't understand it. It's like, okay, I don't understand it. I really don't. Dude, listen, it's either you got good reasons for what you believe in or you don't. It's either you can explain your point of view without trying to just call other people lame because they don't have access to women, or you don't. The reason why you set yourself up in this online fashion looking like a clown online I was literally saying forget about the women and focus on yourself. Don't be around people who don't respect your opinion or the track record. But it's always this, oh, you were lame. Oh, you got this going. Oh, you got that going. Like, I never really understood that. It's like, dude, listen. And here's the thing about that guy. He makes all street dudes look bad, period. I got a ton of street dudes on my father's side of the family. None of them dudes, I'm talking about multiple felonies, have really murked people who are out on the streets now. For what reason, I have no idea. Oh, what's going on, Sir Spade, Sam? 7. Yeah, shout out to Blackfield, too. I like him, man. I like his channel. So what you guys have to realize, and here's the thing, man, there's nothing wrong with that. Getting your stuff together to the point to where you ain't got to continuously validate yourself through the people in the marketplace, that's good, man. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with getting your stuff together? What's wrong with staying out of a bad marketplace, getting your stuff together, and traveling around and having some of the best experiences that you ever had? That's how I got out of this stuff. Man, bro, say it again. Say it again. And we're not talking about street dudes, man. We're talking about social media street dudes. Yeah, it was, man. Yes, and it's like everybody wants the redemption story. Bro, you don't need the redemption story. Like, as a man, you should be thinking 100% logically about where you're actually going in life and society, man. Like, you can't be out here trying to practice the mistakes of the past. You're not going to be able to go from chick to chick to chick to chick to chick and actually keep your stuff. Remember, these people have charges coming back for them 20 and 30 years ago. Do you really want something like that? No. And it's like, dude, game only means bad marketplace. That's all it means. And none of these online street dudes' actual point of view can stand up to any credibility. Like, when credible dudes come out here and just asking you basic questions on what you think and what you believe, there's really no real argument. Yes, because here's the thing about that bronze bird that most people don't get. You get even access to better quality people when you got your stuff together. But just like everything else in life, by the time you get your stuff together, you're not going to be able to keep engaging into these high risk actions once you get your stuff together. You're not going to be able to do that. And again, we're talking about online street dudes. We're not talking about dudes who got real records and are not out here having an Instagram page. We're talking about the dudes who took over the street dude image after the real street dudes left the street life. These are not legitimate street dudes, man. Because the street dudes I know would tell you straight up, hey, man, don't do that with your life. I messed up my whole life. I'm 50 years old. And I have a 9th grade reading level because I pursued the wrong thing. I don't have a problem with street dudes. I never had a problem with street dudes. I have a problem with online street dudes hyping up the image of street dudes. Renaissance man. What's going on? I wanted to say that. But this is where we at. It's like I keep telling y'all, man, these dudes are going to start coming online one after another, after another, after another. They're going to start justifying the bad decisions that they made, the environments that they continuously kept themselves in, and it does not make sense today in 2021. Street. Oh, go ahead.
What's up? Now, what's really happening is technology and the internet is it's pulling the sheet off of this stuff,
making it obsolete, man.
You well, it's exposing guys, because now that now what you can do is you can see, thousands of different lifestyles from your computer screen. Yeah. So you can see, because you got people who pretty much document their lifestyle on YouTube, so you can see what someone who is a business owner or an attorney or some up and coming profession, well-to-do profession. You can see the lifestyle, the things that they get to do, the travel, the homes they live in, and you have these same guys who, if you know them in real life, what their lifestyle is like, or if I take it back, you may not know what their lifestyle, the image that they try to put up. And now what's happened is you have evidence out there that can sort of contradict that image. So you got to try to, basically hide your hand and say, this is the way to go, because you're getting exposed.
Correct. And it's like the whole track record thing of how most people act in society. The system of abuse that, men have actually subjected themselves to. And that's the word, subject and submit themselves to, until they find something good. And it's like, and we're not talking about the people who got the rap sheet. We're not talking about those people. Those people are happy to get those opportunities. Most of them that I've hired, happy as hell. One dude murked like 3 people. Best employee I got. Would never give that dude up for no reason. But this dude also would tell you that he made a huge mistake. Because in Colorado, felony murder means fucking life. And you're going to do 20 to 25 years before you get your ass out of that shit. And that's if they want to let you out, because they don't have to let you out.
Yeah. How long did he serve?
25.
Oh yeah. So you have plenty of time to really see, because I'm assuming he was probably in his 20s when he did this, if not his teens.
Yeah. So 20, early 20s.
So yeah, you looking at your damn near your 50s pretty much when you come out, and it's like you've had plenty of time to realize, wow, that was the wrong way, and now I really got maybe if I'm lucky another 20, 25 years to try to make up for that time.
Yeah, and it's like, you talk to him and he just thought that, oh man, nothing wrong. And I'm like, because now I do additional thing like meet families. That's a new thing I do now. So that way I know where this money is going. So that way I'm not funding no quote unquote street lifestyle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't want that because then if something goes wrong, if
Comes
that
back on
money's
me.
yeah
Comes back on me. Yeah. I mean, because I lost $1 million contracts with the Navy and the Army and stuff by people stealing stuff. I've went through that. A lot of people don't want to know that that's what you're risking. But this dude just had an open mind, came in, seen it open, got a couple years. He came from like a horrible company that I know would hire anybody. And I gave him a shot. And he was like, well, what's my pay? It's like, your pay is going to be like everybody else's pay, extremely high. Just like that, just like that. You can mess it up if you want to. You know how much time you serve. You're never going to get another opportunity like this. So why don't we just sit down as men and talk about things if you're having problems or whatever, and we could be able to work things out. Just like that, just like that. And sometimes things don't come to people that simple because there's always some behind the back, over the back, nothing but net type stuff going on. But sometimes I just want a simple outcome based on the input that a person puts in to a specific position. And that's not hard. All this other stuff becomes hard when you start to embody other things that has nothing to do with the work environment. Like, I don't care what people do. Just you fail a drug test, your ass is gone. I'm not sponsoring no people who's on drugs, and I really don't give a damn about your background all that much. But if you be your ass on base, you better be on your best behavior and show up to work on time. Because not showing up to work on time is going to get your ass fired anyway. So that's just where we at.
yeah yeah. No, I was gonna say too. The other thing, like when you're just talking about dealing with contracts, especially if you're talking about subcontracting, a lot of the times they'll flow the risk down from the prime. That's how they'll cover them. The prime will just say whatever risk there is, they'll flow it down to the sub, so they don't have to deal with it. So all that falls down on you as well.
Correct.
Even though you may not be the prime, depending on what they've pushed down as far as requirements.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And a lot of people don't understand like how that works. And it's like, when I was on that project where I was actually at, not the actual place that I was based out of that I was talking to you about. Yeah, a lot of those people who came in to that organization who was building the new stuff out there on that specific Air Force installation, all those people, most of them were immigrants. Most of them from England, most of them from Latin America, and those people had to go through a rigorous check, even as immigrants, before they was even able to like move equipment, heavy equipment. They didn't let those people just on the base like that. Those people still had to be checked out.
Oh yeah, they don't play about that, especially like if you're in a super. Yeah, you got to definitely be.
Yeah.
You pretty much got to tell them, hey, this is a foreign national that's here.
Yes, and it's like because there's like extra money where you have to pay a person to actually escort them around. There's a whole contractor market off of just following around nationals from other countries.
Yeah, because literally, you got places like in some of these facilities that literally, if you are having a guest like that, they may have to have an escort the whole time, and you may not be
Yes.
able to provide one depending on what type of role you're in.
Trust me, they can have an interim security clearance with like a lot of caveats. And that's what it was most of the time.
Yep, like, hey, this guy can have access to internet, but he may not be able to in the facility. Or he can't, or hey, you can't bring your phone in this area, or no pictures, all of that.
Yeah, I mean, because most of the time, we had to check everybody. You couldn't have anything, pens, paper, nothing. You had to leave all your ID and all that stuff at the gate, and we had to put a tracker on you, so that way we can monitor you all over the place. So it's like, look. And like people don't understand that these street dudes have come online because they're really not that dude in their city no more. They're not that dude anymore. Like when I go back home, those dudes who are still around the community, who was the man like in the 80s and the 90s and maybe the early 2000s, them dudes are not them dudes anymore. That lifestyle has ran out. What's going on, Ike? That lifestyle's ran out. And the only thing they can do now is come online and try to sound all woke as a dude who was in that form of life with no verification that that stuff even happened, because that type of experience is not relevant today. They don't understand how irrelevant that stuff is today.
Well,
It's very irrelevant.
I mean, people don't realize how silly you look. I mean, any community. I mean, really only ours. But I mean, when you start looking at these other communities, it's like if you got a man who is over 40, you could even argue in his 30s that talking about selling basically dating coaches advices and things like that. It's like in other communities, the elite men are at that age are starting their business, moving up into management, opening up their own practice, doing all these things, not on YouTube, pushing books and trying to sell this type of stuff.
Yeah, and it's like,
It just
I
looks
mean, you're
silly.
selling somebody else's dreams of making it via that. And it's like, bro, listen, man, listen. If the biggest dudes out there are not turning on cameras and showing you what's going on out there, and you have to realize that this stuff is not a good start or a finish point for anybody. This is why they fear. Like, these street dudes really fear men getting their stuff together. They really fear men actually leaving certain types of women alone. They fear that because they're going to be the only ones stuck dealing with XYZ personnel. And it's like, yeah, like they don't understand that you're out here selling an obsolete product. The only thing you can hope who's going to actually invest in such a product is the people who were born either 15 to 20 years ago, maybe even older, who actually believe in this image too. That's the only people who you can hope to garner and gain. You're not going to get a dude who's like in medical school who's going to drop that stuff to want to hear this entertainment aspect of a guy who isn't going to have a future. The only thing they're doing is going after a ever shrinking and shrinking market of people who believed in this stuff for some certain period of time.
Not bottom feeders.
Yes, the actual literal definition of it. And it's like, we got a lot of problems here that we got to fix because, like, dude, if you were secure with self, you wouldn't be out here selling street stuff, man. You wouldn't even be trying to hide behind this image. This image is done. This image cannot survive without broken people. I'm talking about the women and the children, because we know the men can come and go at any time. And it's like, look, man, like, having your stuff together is not lame. Keeping your ass out of trouble is not lame. Staying away from nonsensical people is not lame. That's not lame. That's normal. Normal as hell. And it's just that if you put this image up in front of a whole lot of people, they'll gravitate toward it because they ruined their life and they want to think that they have not ruined what they actually went after. And it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's almost like that. With some people, like you almost have to convince them, like there's something. Like some people look at you wrong, like there's something wrong with you for wanting a good life.
Yeah,
and it's like,
yeah.
and it's like, no, what do you think people want to do here? Like sit here and struggle for the next 60 years or something? It's like at a certain point you have to look at, okay, if you want that, what are you going to have to do to go get it? And the crazy thing is people have that mentality when it comes to things like sports and all that.
Yeah.
They understand, hey, if I want to make a professional league, for the most part, hey, I'm gonna have to practice X amount of days. I'm gonna be practicing in the off season, pretty much practicing the craft all the time. I'm gonna have to be willing to, unless I'm one of the top athletes in the world, in the country, go to whatever school gives me the best shot, and then if I get drafted, I don't have a say on what team I got to go to. I just got to go. Like, people get that and what it takes to get there, but then they don't get it in a non-sports arena.
Dude, listen, man. Like, I was talking to a dude last week. I seen this dude. I was over somebody's house, and I seen this dude carrying a baby. I'm like, what's going on here? So I went over there and talked to him. And he was like, yeah, man, I just got custody of my kid. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. But he was like, man, but I still can't survive. It's still hard, man. I ain't got no skills and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, this dude just got custody of his kid from somebody who he shouldn't have dated any longer than 2 seconds. So once you get down to it, the dude bought into the image. He thought there was not going to be any consequences for being around these type of people that the image tells you that you should verify your masculinity from. And this dude wrecked and ruined his entire life, not just his, but another woman as well as a child who can barely survive. Hopefully the child takes the school and stuff seriously, but this is where we at, man. Like, dude, we got to drop this stuff, man. Nobody's going to be able to level up through this type of image anymore. We have to stop this.
But it's because people put dating and they put it in a whole other category. As far as if they put it in the same context of when you're growing up, your parents always tell me, like, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. You got to be careful about the people you hang out with. That's the thing, is people throw all of that advice that is just really just advice for just interactions with people, period. They throw all of that out the window, and then don't wonder why, hey, they get the wrong email and it costs them so much.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, we already got the outcome already from a lot of people. We don't have to come online and keep trying to sell this image, because like the most people who want to see that type of information, like Instagram and all that.
Yeah.
It's like you have to realize that they want to see if you're getting away with the same stuff that they're getting away with within the same marketplace to which they're operating. And it's like, not everybody grades themselves on Twitter followers and Instagram followers and likes, hearts, shares, subscribes, and views and all this kind of, like, dude, that stuff is very shallow stuff. It has nothing to do with masculinity.
It's crazy. Like, I didn't know that. I was talking to a friend, and it's crazy. He was literally telling me, you got people that he knows who are literally going into debt and going broke, trying to hold up an image for Instagram.
Yeah.
Hello. Can anybody hear me?
What's going on, man?
Oh, hey, man. I was watching a stream, and you hit a point that I've been trying to tell a lot of people, a lot of dudes across the spectrum for months. I remember I walked into this Ask Nathaniel life coach stream. This dude in the
Yeah, there's a Patreon stream on
the
an actual Ramel Amir stream where that guy didn't know who I was or how much money I ever made, and he made all these assumptions, and I just started laughing.
That's exactly what happened to me, dude. I walked into oh my god, that's what happened to me. I walked into Ask Nathaniel's life coach or advice, whatever channel. He made all these weird assumptions about me, and then it all came down to, you ain't got no game or something. And then the moment I said sex is overrated or whatever, the whole entire, it was like World War III. Everything went nuclear, and they missed half of my other comment. I said that there's more important things. I mean, if that's what you want to do, but there's more important things. And I think he's like a former street dude turned car salesman. I don't know, but he sells these really crappy cars and makes these like 8-hour videos in his car. But
wait, this isn't the guy that came through his stream and put a bunch of money in his Cash App one time.
Please don't say that he did that, Renaissance man.
No, well, I don't know. There was another guy who came on, and I can't remember his name, but he came on. He was doing the used car thing too. He had, I guess, done some time and then gotten out and was saying pretty much he was flipping cars. And then I guess he showed a bunch of money on the screen and hit Ramil's Cash App. And and a bunch of guys in the chat got kind of got pissed off. I don't know if this is the same guy though.
I mean, hell, it might be. I mean, he keeps calling himself a real OG and cussing out me and the Manosphere every chance he gets. But I had to do like a freaking video response to it. But the guy robbed me of a chance to defend myself, cusses me out and say, "Oh, this guy, this is the problem. He has no game. That's why he's so miserable. He doesn't watch porn." And I'm laughing because there are a lot of these guys that, I mean, this dude was 40 years old. I mean, it's not like he was in his 30s or something like that. This dude was like 40-some-year-old dude, and he's cussing me out on behalf of women, telling me, "Oh, I don't want you here anymore. You make the women feel bad. You're the kind of guy that will call a woman fat, and you hate my mom, you hate my sister." It just went on like a huge, crazy thing, and I'm over here just kind of analyzing this and thinking to myself, these street dudes and pretty much everyone else that thinks like them, they're crazy, because that may have worked maybe 10, 20, 30 years ago. It's obsolete. It like, who cares how many women that they're taking picture with on Instagram? I mean, it doesn't even matter. There's these people that they live their entire lives based on how a woman thinks, feels, and acts, and no form of leveling up or anything positive can really go through the scope, because it has to be there to impress women. And my whole thing is, even on my own channel, is to at least, joke, laugh, shoot the shit, and at the very least get to a better place. They call us all angry MFs, but they're angry all the time. They're cussing us out. They're cussing out single guys. And for the thing that for the life of me, that I can't understand, and I'm still racking my brain about this, is why is a guy who doesn't like buy their product or want to date or want to be a PUA or whatever, such a threat to them? They act like we're the greatest enemy just to the planet.
Because they can't make money. If that type of thinking grows too much, you can't make money. And my bad, MOT, they're saying in the chat it was a different guy I was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the same style of thinking. Same style of thinking. So it's like this. The new thing for the Black Manosphere, is we're not on that. We on telling brothers to get their stuff together, or if they white or Latino or anybody else, and lock the door behind these dudes. Make them come up to your level of principle. Don't bow down to their level of principle. Because bowing down to their level of principle is how we got where we got right now. You got dudes making whole career fields out of talking to broken people with no answers for them, who's going to be turning those people over to a different marketplace of men for them to date. It's crazy. And what they don't understand is that not only do you not care about the person who you're talking to, which is clear, but it also means that you don't care about the people who are listening, because you're trying to give this person advice to how to get the people in the audience to take them seriously past their prime. And it's like, listen, man, at some point, man, you just got to move on to different and better stuff, man. Listen, you lost the coin toss. Okay? Everybody loses the coin toss at some point in life. But you know what happened when you lose the coin toss? No matter what actual sporting event that it is, you still got to make a plan to actually make it after that. And you still have to play the entire session as if you want to win the entire session. So going around making undisciplined moves that can come back to bite you forever, because these people have not proven that they're out here doing this stuff. They only try to get placebo to go out here to do it on their behalf. And they know these people want a level of relevance that's not tied to an actual tangible thing. And it's crazy.
And that's what bothers me, because their whole gimmick makes no sense. And I don't know why there are people that buy into this. That's like if I were to make a video saying, "Oh, let me show you how to get a woman, but first make sure you donate me X amount of money because this advice is so super secret rare." It's just like, what the hell? It's laughable on all fronts, but people buy into this kind of crap. And I keep telling guys, if you don't have the money to be doing that, don't do that. I mean, even hell, There was a guy not too long ago, like dude had a net worth of about $100 million, got duped by Instagram OnlyFans / supermodel, and now he's over there crying on the news and the internet and everywhere. So it's just, it clearly didn't work for him, and they provide no testimonies or provide
Yep.
no real proof to how it works.
Nothing at all. And it's like, look, and they want to have this one-sided swipe fest where they can talk all the noise in the world about you, but you can't question their credibility intellectually at all with a track record, because it's either this stuff does work or it doesn't work. There is no in between. And it's either we do have good outcomes or we don't have good outcomes. There is no in between. It's either you can explain this process from beginning to end or you can't. There ain't no in between.
Exactly.
Now, Black Wolf, you're the one that was on. You're the one with the farm, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
the farm.
No, I just wanted to clarify. I thought so. I thought we had a. I thought you were up here about a few weeks ago discussing all of
Yeah,
that.
he was. He was.
Yeah, I think I was. I mean, it was a while. It was a while back, but yeah, I think I remember talking about that. I was oh yeah, I remember. I was telling guys to get out of the city. I mean, I've personally had bad experiences with the city, and due to my own, anxiety and issues, I can't be around all the traffic lights and bumper to bumper kind of lifestyle. And I keep telling guys, save your money and take your money and invest into you. Even if you have to work for somebody else, work for a small company or something that isn't mainstream. That way you're not treated like such a drone, and they have to kind of treat you with an ounce of respect, because things are going down. And for me, I plan on moving from the woods to the mountains as soon as this whole Corona crap boils over. So I've just been going back and taking classes. It's actually kind of funny. They're actually paying me now to go back and take classes because the people are shorthanded everywhere. But yeah, that's this whole like stay within a bad place thing that some of these guys promote.
Yeah.
It's not hitting on nothing. And I say it all the time. If you have the money or the know-how, the resources to elevate yourself or just get out of a bad place, just do it. Don't be afraid to do it. Just do it. If you want a boathouse, get a boathouse. You want to live in the woods, the mountains, just do it. You can't sit back and say, "Oh, well, I wish I could do." You can. I tell people this all the time. Like, a lot of guys don't realize you have a choice. You don't have to live like shit. You have a choice, but it's messed up. You can lay all the information down in front of someone, and then they'll just kind of stand there and they'll look at it, and it drives me crazy. I've explained to people. I've had videos where I've talked about the value of coin, and I've explained to young guys how to manage their money, because I manage like all these animals and everything. I tell them how to manage your money, how to dress for the occasion, what to do, what to say, and you can coach them through all of these things. But the thing that I always hear is, well, that's a lot of work. Yes, it is. That's kind of hard. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, let me shout out the super chat. Thanks for the $10 super chat, Johnny Blaze. Manhood is not a culture; it is a subculture that promotes the worst, i.e., the lame. And it's like, look, staying away from bad circumstances is somehow lame. Not basing yourself on the Cardi B feminine model to come out here and actually try to judge you for who you are. That ain't lame. Like, dude, staying out of this stuff is not lame. So what we need to do is just make them intellectually actually explain their points, because it's better that way. To have people come up and explain their points, and you're going to figure out that they're just sociopaths at the end of the day. They don't really care about the outcomes of anything. They just want to sell nonsense because they can't survive in an environment with principle being the actual thing that's going on there. So long as actual value for actual dudes, and it's ridiculous.
Now the other thing too, along Johnny Blaze's point, is it's like, you can even tie it. We were talking Complex the other day, and he was saying, "Yeah, I'm pro-black, but I'm not pro-dysfunction." And I'm like, that's the thing that kills me is you have people who embrace this stuff, and then we'll talk about how the world's against them, and this is not working out, this isn't working out, and it's like your very behavior is putting you in a position to literally not be able to get out of the situation that you claim that you loathe so much and move to a better one. It's like, you know, I don't think anyone up here would deny that, you know, racism does exist in America and it can be problematic at times, but don't sit up here and do things that are going to make it where you have to be stuck in America. Like if you truly want to feel like you can make it better, or you know, you don't, this environment is not conducive to you, do things that can help you move to an environment that's conducive to reach your goals. But it's like we do the opposite. We talk about how bad the environment is and then double down on the very behavior that's going to keep us stuck in the environment.
All right, shout out to Blackfield Truth 2.0. He said they don't want to explain because they want you to trust them as they scam you with their BS. That's why they get mad and frame it on you as Dixon. Like, that's the thing, man. Dude, there's always some dismissive, and shout out to him. He has a pretty good channel if you want to actually look at the PUAs and all that kind of stuff to see that stuff being tested real time. So what you have here is you have people who know they don't have results. They've been trusted. They only look for weak men that they can fill with insecurities and then turn around and sell them a BS product. So let me go to Dick Doug. Thanks for the $10 super chat. When will people understand that certain cultures can go extinct, just like languages? This little pocket experiment of theirs will not last long. It's akin to those who reject the modern medicine. Yes,
Exactly.
I completely
yes,
agree.
it's going extinct. The only thing that can be able to help them survive is that men can be able to feed themselves into this new construct. So you have to understand that as long as you get, because remember, the counterpart in this society don't like productive men. They don't like independent men who have their stuff together. So why wouldn't you get your stuff together so that way that opinion no longer holds any sway over you? They're telling you how to defeat them, and a lot of people just want to keep falling prey to this stuff. And the worst of the worst come out and just try to explain or even become a soundboard for this stuff. It's ridiculous.
Because I think it's because a lot of people just want to be a sheep. And man, you might laugh about this, but when it came to Nate and a lot of these PUAs, I made a almost 10-hour stream a few days back that said I'm a MGTOW, changed my mind. None of them showed up, and I even told them no one will use ad hominem attacks like you do on me. It'll be a one-on-one thing. You could cuss me out, whatever. None of them showed up, and so I had a good laugh about that because they all they have is just talk. And my whole thing is I tell guys this all the time, and the dudes in the comment section, listen very careful of this. If you can make a lot of money and have next to no one know who you are, then you're living better than most people, because it's not about running these mad flexes and go, oh, look at the girl I'm with, look at the car I'm with. I mean, it's funny because most of the guys I know that don't have anything, they dress up and constantly try to impress others. And a lot of guys who have already made their money, they just those rich guys, a lot of them dress down. They go to State of
Dude,
Brothers and some of these other places dressing down.
listen, man, I don't mind going to Walmart and buying like 10 shirts. I'm good for the whole winter or summer. I don't need to go out and try to impress anybody else for any other reason. I just date people from other cultures where my productivity is actually respected. So let's go with Sir Spade Sam 7. The Manosphere Internet War began last year. I didn't even know till watching 21 Studios. Dude, this cycle has been going on over and over again for like the past 7 or 8 years. It isn't just last year. It's just that you're catching the cycle that you're catching it. But these people have been on the sides pushing this nonsense forever. Forever.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. Like how long are they going to continue pushing this? I mean, as you said, it's an ongoing battle, man. And I mean, secure guys like yourself, me, and resistance here is, it's like they hate us just because we happen. Hell, you can agree with them and they'll get pissed off. They hate us because we don't want to live their life, and they won't make any changes in their own life, but they'll keep selling something that's broken. And like I went and debunked so much crap in one video, and then I stopped because I realized it didn't even matter, because you could debunk everything they say, but they'll still come back and say, okay, this person is a rainbow, or oh, he's a hater, he's a downer. Look, he's hurting me. He's trying to keep me down, and it's that kind of perpetual victimhood that I'm angry about.
Yeah,
Why?
I mean, like when Zero say treat them like bitches, like there's no way that you can't. At the end of the day, if they had actual receipts, no, thank for the file super chat, they would actually be showing it. Like, listen, me on my Patreon, I show you the truck that I just bought. I like what I do. I don't have to worry about trying to screw over people for any reason. I don't have to. And what most people don't understand is that you can't just sit back and just let these people run the score up on your ass. You got to just sit back and make them explain their case. So that way you can get out of them while they're actually here. But they don't want men to be productive, because if you have your own stuff and you don't give it away for frivolous reasons, you won. You won.
And not to mention, if you start winning in the if you start winning in the stream, you'll get the same experience that I got. The moment I started debunking his claims, that dude kicked me out so quick. It was the
Of
funniest
course you
thing
did.
ever.
Okay. So let me answer this from We Kill Dragon. Listen, I say this. You need to be aware of the marketplace that you actually are in. There's a level of awareness, but I'm not going to practice a level of awareness that's going to give me a specific product. A specific product that's been having all types of mileage on it. I'm not going to practice the type of things that product wants to net myself in those actual people's grips and arms. What I'm going to be interested in is something that makes sense for me. I'm not going to be here for stuff that makes sense for them and the person who's trying to sell me out to get them. So I get what he's saying. This is why I say awareness versus immersion versus exposure. I just want to be aware of the stuff that's going on so that way I can get the most out of life. I'm trying to get the most out of life to be the happiest that I possibly can, and go to different cultures and be able to get people from those cultures that respect the stuff that I bring to the table. This isn't one of them. And there's nothing wrong with just saying, you know what, this stuff isn't going to work. I am going to deal with the best of the best here, or the best of the best no matter where I go. And people don't want to hear that, because they want you to settle for something that's going to give them control over you. That's what they want, control over you.
They want to sell you snake oil, and I laugh at the guys that do this, because it's like they're dating women, like all these women to impress other dudes, or comparing women they date to, like in the same way women compare jewelry, and you're a lot like me in a sense that wherever you go, you're gonna make sure that you're okay. But some of these guys, man, I don't know if you've seen the kind of crap they put. I mean, just reading the title of some of these PUA's videos, I laugh. How to get a Latin? I got a Latin woman. You can too. How to get an Asian woman? How to get a Latin? And I'm thinking to myself, like, this is so silly. And they got mad when I broke it down for them and said, when you simp this hard for women, then respect just goes out of the equation. Well, surely you have a preference of woman. Like, yeah, there's type of woman that I like. I went all around Eastern Europe, whatever. But I don't look at them as my saviors, or look, oh, I'm leveling up or anything like that. I mean, no matter where in the world you go, you're a man, and no matter how hot the woman you're with or whoever you're dating, um, dating dating a hot woman is not going to level you up. That's something you do for yourself.
Yeah, and it's like, this stuff isn't race specific. like, dude, you need to realize that everybody within this marketplace who's abusing the same system is doing so at the behest of you not knowing. So you have a lot of people who don't have value, who's trying to get more value out of people who do not understand how value works. So it's like everybody's trying to be on the hunt for the dumbest person on the planet who can be able to find a man smart enough to take on the world, but dumb enough to fall for them. It's like, what is this?
It's truly insane, and I just call it the Dunning-Kruger effect, because that's really what it is, man. It's been that way since the dawn of time. For whatever reason, stupid people tend to outbreed intelligent people in almost every time period. And so my whole thing is, when you eliminate that competition, and I know everybody hates this word, but a little Darwinism goes a long freaking way, because some of these people really shouldn't be making choices for other people. You have the people that the lazy and the people that don't do anything, and they want to make choices for guys like me, you, and like, oh, they're not doing it the way I want them to do it. You know, that they're evil, they're this, they're that, and it's like being trapped on an island with jackasses, man. It's like me and you trapped on an island with them, and me resistant. So we're trapped there, or just this metaphorical. I go up there and I go, okay, we need a fire, we need some firewood, we need some water, and while we're trying to figure out how to not die, one of these guys come up and go, hey, why aren't you guys over there hanging out with the hot women? Because we're trying not to die. And we'll go, well, I'm getting late, one of you guys. Yeah, I'm sure you are. But once again, we want to actually eat before sunset so we don't die. And then they compare sex to death. Well, you're not living if you're not out. Oh, shit. And let's, you get what I mean? They're already like trying to uphold production here. And now, okay, we got to get rid of this damn guy. He's just going pussy crazy. And I've seen dudes, I kid you not, have withdrawal symptoms when they're not getting it. And it's distracting. You're working on a car and you're trying not to lose your hand. And all of a sudden, guy next to you, man, that girl's so hot. Yes, yeah, she is. Can you focus on the turbine? We can lose my hand here. And it's I don't know how they do anything. That's my point. I don't know how those guys go through life being that way, and then they want to be trusted with the most important things, man. They like Nathaniel wanted me to talk to him about finances and all this other crap. When I made like entire videos on that, dude didn't watch any of my videos, but he's saying, oh, he just wants to talk about women. I'm like, well, when you put MGTOW in your tags, no shit, we're gonna show up. That's like saying Beetlejuice 3 times in the mirror. Like we're gonna show up,
Yeah,
and just
but Black Wolf, like, this is what they don't like. They don't like competent competition. They don't like explaining themselves from, like, there's beginning to end thinking and there's end to beginning thinking. And they cannot explain themselves beyond the actual insults and everything else. What's going on, DC? What's going on, infantry skills? What's going on, Ike? And this is what we got. It's like, dude, listen, we have to have a nuance. Like, okay, they want to do their resets. We can do our own resets. We can have a nuanced conversation about the things that are going on within this environment. So that way we can be able to lay down a level of protection for kids that their parents are not even showing them. The only thing I want is people to actually harness their actual power of creativity and productivity so that way they're not giving away for people for dumb reasons. That's the only thing I want. And that's not, and that shouldn't be controversial for men to actually focus on the things that they need to be focused on rather than the things that's been superimposed on them within the actual environment that they grew up at. It shouldn't be that hard of a deal. It shouldn't.
The reason is, and I agree with you, and it shouldn't. The reason that it is because every time I remember back then I used to help like a lot of younger kids identify different herbs and teach them about the woods and everything, and for them they had this mentality of mama doesn't do it, so I don't want to do it. That's lame. My mom. It just always went back to my mama this, mama that. And I really believe that a lot of these, young boys, like I have one friend say, send them to the military. I was like, no, that's not, that might work. But what they really need to do is spend some time away from the women and their family, because a lot of them are picking up mentalities that it's not going to help them. And this is why I consider society to be overly feminized, because they don't want for anything. They don't truly strive for anything. And despite how bad they may tell you it is, I mean, it's being off the grid's even worse. I mean, but the thing is, you don't see me making back-to-back videos complaining about my time doing that. They don't. In other words, what I'm saying is they don't spend any real time alone. And a lot of people don't, because I realize a lot of people are terrified of their own thoughts. They don't want to be alone because just the mere thought of that is akin to death. And it shouldn't be that way. It's good. I mean, yeah, be around others, but it's good to be alone as well so that you gain a better understanding of yourself. And if you're doing stuff for yourself a majority of the time, you can't help but self-reflect. You have no choice or you'll die. So
go ahead, Renshaw.
No, I was just gonna say, people don't realize, and I think, I know Black Wolf, you sound like an introvert like myself. That's time to reflect, to strategize, to look back on what went wrong, what you need to do. It's just like if you don't have that time, you really can't. You really can't. It's hard to progress because I mean, like I said, that's just time to reflect, make sure you're going in the right direction. Introspection. So I mean, if you have people who can't do that because they can't stand to be away from people, or some people don't want to really. Some people it's a distraction. Being around other people is a distraction, so they don't have to be, you know, really look in the mirror at themselves.
Yeah, and it's the same for me. You're all right. I'm a hardcore introvert because I got tired of dealing with fake people, and I realized when a person doesn't spend any time alone, they they start wearing facades like changing in different Halloween masks or something, and I couldn't get with that when I was younger. And normally I was the kind of guy that, okay, if you say, yo, like, well, we have to do this project, especially, and it's critical for our survival, I focus. Even if it takes 15 hours, I will focus on the task at hand and put petty differences aside and petty squabbles aside, because it has been made apparent to me that it is crucial that this task be done. And a lot of kids don't have that dedication, man. They just want good things to fall into their lap, and life just doesn't work that way. If I had waited for that, man, I'd be living in a car in a tent somewhere by the river.
Yeah. What's going on, Mid-Tide Dictionary? What's going on, man? Thanks for coming on, man. What's going on?
Thank you for having me, brother. Yeah, I'm just, same old stuff. I just got in. Good to see y'all streaming. Definitely, man.
What's going on, man? You're like kind of low or not near the microphone or something?
Oh, okay. Here, let me pull it a little closer. Is that a little better?
Oh, yeah, all the way, man. Yeah, man, so what we was talking about today, because, we was on the live stream earlier, and it's like, and it's no different because it's the same type of guy, no matter whether it's black or white. They come on and they do all this projecting, but when it comes to them to actually explain their point of view, they need like this T-ball thing to where you must allow them to play the home run derby with T-ball, but you have to play it some other way. And they come out and they dismiss you right away, and they want all these rights to have a one-sided opinion, but you can't answer that. And I just think that's absolutely ridiculous, and we got to run these dudes offline.
We really do. That's why I call out guys.
Whoa. Let Mid-Tide Dictionary answer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, man. It's I was hearing one of the other guys was saying that sometimes you send them to the military, that might work, but he was saying that, they really need to have the boys away from the women. And I was talking about that a while ago, where we don't have anything in modern civilization that is the equivalent to that bringing the boy into manhood by men. And they grow up where they're just fair game. Some of them make it, a lot of them don't. And he's right. It's like we would need some type of, I guess they would call it a ritual back in the day. Natives would take people out to the wilderness. Women weren't allowed to be there because it would weaken the boy. Only a man can bring a boy into manhood. And furthermore, only a man can bring a girl into adulthood, because we never hear anybody say that girl got mommy problems. It's always she's got daddy problems. The man is so important, and there's such a lack of men that we're seeing the effect of it in these last 2 decades, especially with the internet. The technology, it has overcome. It used to be the television would raise the kid, and they would grow up to be these, I want to be like somebody else, anybody but me. And that was a serious problem. But yeah, totally, I hear what he's saying with that. I mean, fortunately, I went in the military very young. My mother signed
me too.
Yeah, so I was, I caught it young, but I was still kind of introverted because, like he said, I didn't want to be around people. I think there was I don't know if it was Terrence McKenna or who, he said that a certain level of alienation is required in this society to keep your sanity. And it rings true.
Yeah, so it's like, what people don't understand, like me, I went in when I was 17. I left home, graduation night, went straight to basic training. That's how it was for me, and it was like
you weren't playing graduation night. Didn't hang up to celebrate or anything.
Nope. I walked right off that stage, diploma in hand, put the actual cap and gown in the garbage, and left everything. I didn't take no clothes with me. I wanted out of there, gone. And it was like, that was a good experience for me because even though my dad died early and my grandfather, who was a greater influence, died right after that, it's just like I got around men, both the worst and the best men together in the same environment in the military. Like I met all these game dudes and all these dudes who claimed that they had all this shit together until you look like, wait a minute, if you got it all together, then why the hell are you an E4 and not an E6? And you've been here for like 8-9 years and you still an E4. So what's going on here, man? So it's like you got to see up front, especially being in law enforcement, you got to see the cycle of failure of men who didn't have discipline. You got to see up close and personal the actual cycle of failure. You see them when they come in. You see them when they get in trouble. You see them when they're being removed from their unit. You see them when they get court-martialed. You see them because you're taking them over to Fort Leavenworth, or actual, back then there was actual Mannheim prison in Germany. But yet, that's what you saw. And it's like a lot of these people could have been better off having that discipline very young. But see, a lot of people didn't have that time to self-reflect, just like Black Wolf McDowell said. A lot of these people did not have that time to self-reflect. And by the time they did, they had a long-ass prison sentence.
That's true. I noticed when I left and I came back, I didn't come back for a few years. The sergeants were wondering. They said, why is this kid not taking leave? I got out. I terminal leave. I had 44 days left. So I didn't leave. I had a year and a half worth of leave. There was nothing to come back to. I left New York. I noticed like how you left, how you're saying, okay, you left, you threw your cap and gown. The guys that made that decision, like you and I, were like, hey, I'm going in. Nobody had to tell us to go. Nobody had to coach us, to push us. Those type of people I noticed adapted more and we're just independent at a younger age, like screaming for that independence. But the state tells us, no, you got to be 18 or you got to be 17 with your parents' consent or, something like that. Anything but when the boy is ready to mature into that manhood stage. And holding people back, especially like in certain schools and stuff like that, we know that stunts a person's growth. That affects them for their whole life. And like you were saying, I saw a lot of guys, I mean, they were crying. I bought a small like shoulder bag with a pair of underwear, a pair of pants, and what I had on. And I noticed the guys that brought suitcases, they had to pay for that because when they made us, jog on Fort Knox to our place, you had to carry everything you brought. So they had to, like, it was like they brought their own punishment. And this is something that I don't see, even with guys joining now, because guys have told me that the military is not the same. I mean, you go through basic training and you're given these cards where if you feel stressed out, the drill sergeant can't yell at you and all of that. It's an epidemic of emasculated males.
Not to mention it's, sorry to interrupt, it's very dangerous. I mean, the thing you were talking about earlier is called rite of passage, and if we at the very least implemented that more, things wouldn't be so messed up. I mean, as messed up as it is to say, I remember my dad left me out in the woods for 3 days. I was very pissed off about that. He's like, well, you made it back and you survived. I gave you everything you needed to survive. And I mean, yeah, he was out there, make sure nothing really bad happened, but they need to bring this back. Even if a child doesn't go to the military, what I remember is whenever my dad was fishing or whenever, he'd be sitting around the campfire, he would share stories with me. If his friends were around, they would share stories. When I was younger, like, oh man, this is so boring. All these old dudes sharing stories. And then later in life, when I got older, I started to kind of laugh at this because even though some of those stories may have been somewhat exaggerated or full of crap in some cases, those were cautionary tales that later helped me in life. And then just the act of me remembering those stories, I laugh about, and they help me in certain situations. And the crappy part about it is a lot of men aren't doing that anymore. Maybe they're not even allowed to do that anymore, but just the act of doing that and having that silence and being able to share stories and life experiences and stuff, I didn't realize they were imparting that knowledge onto me because I hated sitting there, but they all wanted me to sit there just listen to these really boring stories that I realized that, yeah, the stories may have been boring. Yeah, the same story may have been repeated about 1,000 times over, but that stays with me. And it taught me a lot. It taught me patience, taught me a level of discipline. And, I laugh at them. Now I get the jokes and everything, and I'm able to laugh at them. But now it's, when I make a metaphor, people either don't get the metaphor, or they think I'm being a wise ass, and I'm really not. I'm just trying my best to explain a situation, and that was their way of explaining their life or a situation to me. And kids don't get it, but even if you don't get it, the information's still useful. The stories are
Yeah.
useful. That's how men taught since the dawn of time, and that's when I finally learned they weren't doing that to bore me or anything like that. They enjoyed my company, and they wanted to pass on all that they had to me. And so
that's the basis of civilization is, hey, at a certain point you get hey, I've reached all the accomplishments that I'm going to reach, so this thing doesn't start over. Let me pass it down to the next generation, and they take it a step further. But I think too, a thing is lacking is dudes with purpose, because what you all just described about doing, pretty much leaving the night of, no one really telling you what you need to do, just doing it. There's a purpose behind that, in the sense of you knew your goals, what you wanted, where you were going. So it was, going through, because basic training's like 12 weeks?
Yeah.
It depends.
So.
If you're infantry, it's 12 weeks, or in the Marines. If you're regular in the Army, it's 8 weeks.
So
Army,
I mean,
12,
yeah. So I mean, coming from the situations you all wanted to leave, I'm sure 2-3 months tops is okay. I got to deal with BS. I got to deal with people yelling at me, but uncomfortable circumstances. But 2 to 3 months is not a long time. Big picture. And especially when you have, your purpose behind it. It's kind of like, once you have your purpose, you can kind of do whatever. I just got to get through it.
You hit that really good, because this is why when I went in, I got a lot more respect. They treated me like a man from day one, because they said, look, you're a regular Army. You jumped in straight into the water for years. The guys that joined just to get benefits, they joined the National Guard. So in 2 months, they were back home. The Army Reserve, 2 months, and they would give them hell. They would say, you just National Guard, you were no-go. But guys, especially my youth, because these guys tried to do what they did in society, failed, said, let me go in the military, or they got a girl pregnant and they had to go in there, or they got a bid where they got a chance to either, look, you're going to go do this time, or you're going to go to the military. And a lot of guys just got time. I mean, I saw a guy, actually, I was in the gym earlier today and met a guy I knew from the 90s, and I couldn't believe it. I said, hey, what's up, man? And he couldn't, we were like, oh, snap. He just told me, he goes, man, I just did 15 years. I was like, what? And I looked at that, and, and I knew what he was into. So, but I was just surprised he did that much time. And, you look at that and you start to say, wow, if you don't discipline your kids, the state will.
Yes. Yeah, and not on a time period that you equally gonna be respected for it either. Because them lessons, you're gonna get it like in the first week and a half, but you still got 10, 15 years to still serve after you didn't actually got the lesson. Finally. Yeah. So Dick Duck said, this is why I say time and time again, Black men have adopted the female social model. It is one that is predicated around subjects only. You will notice it based off of how long Black males will analyze your appearance too long. Yes, like I don't get people who want to see people's faces online. I don't get people who can't articulate their points without seeing social media credibility. I don't get people who just can't clearly state and say exactly what they're doing here. Because I guarantee you, most of the books that you actually were taught from in high school, you didn't meet the author of them. You didn't have an online dialogue with them. You were just expected to follow directions and actually complete tasks. And that's what you were based on. So it's like when you have people who can't clearly articulate the things that they come out and do, and it always has to be these caveats to why their stuff is actually true. I'm like, man, this shit just don't add up. It don't make any sense for the most part.
Mm-hmm. It really doesn't. I mean, and this is why I was happy. My dad's a Vietnam veteran, and a drill sergeant, or well, not anymore. Well, he's old, but the thing about it is, I was happy that one of the first things he taught me, I didn't realize how important this was. One of the first things he ever taught me was how to track, how to use a gun, and I was like, and I was going through the kind of the same things. My mom wanted to keep me safe and everything like that. He's like, no, 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 we're gonna be good. He needs to learn this. And dude, that was just when I started to walk and everything. So, that recoil was kicking my ass. But I was like, why are we doing this? And he straight up told me, he's like, I might not always be around, so better to teach you now than later. And I didn't understand it until later. I mean, my dad's still around, but he said he did that because he doesn't believe, and I don't think any of the men in my family believe in waiting until you're like 15, 18. As soon as you're able to walk, yeah, they're putting the firearm in your hand to let you know, okay, if something happens, you better know how to defend yourself somewhat, because that's just kind of how the world is. And they don't really teach this anymore more to kids. What they do is the school and the TV and the computer and everything raises, and the state essentially raises the kid. And so the children grow up to be very entitled, and they think, oh, you can't hurt me. That would be bad. Okay, well, I just did. Oh, okay, I'm calling the cops. Okay, well, great, you hit me first, but okay, they're surprised when an actual consequence comes their way. The look on their faces is priceless sometimes, because
and not to interrupt, it destroys the person. When martial arts, I noticed, helped me not get into a lot of fights. And also, if you get good martial arts teachers, it teaches you more about yourself, about battling the person you were yesterday, and understanding how to handle a confrontation when you don't have a weapon close by, how to turn something into a weapon, because those situations do happen. I mean, you walk in, somebody pulls a knife, you have a jacket on, to take it off and wrap it around your arm. You make sort of like a shield or something, to try to engage with this, or to disengage and get away, because that's your first thing. The last thing you want to do is, if you're cornered, okay, you're fighting for your life. That whole aspect, when a man and even a younger woman get, a father, family members that confront them with that, it changes you. I mean, I look at these guys on the internet and I say, yeah, their problem is they haven't messed with the right person that has beaten them half to death, and then they learn the lesson that way. You can learn it the easy way or the real easy way. And, it's an old saying, you want to know who somebody is? Give them a mask. Give them a mask. Let them hide behind that, and you'll see the real person. And when people show you who they are, believe them. That's something I noticed we all kind of might have a little forgiving streak with that. When somebody shows you who you are, believe that. They're going to lie. They're going to say this, that. No, but I seen you showed me who you were, and I'm not going to forget that. You need discipline, severe discipline. And that's the problem. It's not saying, oh, be a tyrant or whatever. It's like, no. My friend has a son, and he told me that, he grapples with his son. And I said, yeah, that's good. He feels the force of a man as a teenager, to say, okay, you see what's up, you're going to get strong, but just remember, you can still get done quick. Now you're going to respect the physical. And like you said, you should know how to use firearms. I got off on shooting the M60 and the 50 caliber and throwing hand grenades. The problem, sergeants told me, with guys like myself, they said, killers like you, the problem is you guys don't stay in. And the Army doesn't make you a killer. You have that or you don't. All they do is sharpen what you have. So there's guys in there that just went in for college. And I said, yeah, that's like joining the mob. And then when it comes time to do a hit, you don't want to do a hit. You join the military force. What do? We kill people. That's what it is. Hopefully you don't have to. Now we'll go back to normal life. You do your stuff. When they fake the funk, they grow up to be these fake people that we see in society.
Yeah, correct. Let me try to spot out super chat. So try to spot out. When I thought Platinum interview yesterday couldn't be, but he was outdone by Ramil's stream. Yes, because what it is, these people are full of themselves and they've never been challenged until now. Like if you got to these people like 10 to 15 years ago, maybe even 20 to 25 years ago in some people's cases, we would have already erased this subculture from the actual the cosmos. That's what men were supposed to do. And we let kind of the more feminine aspect of the get away with anything that you possibly could within the environment kind of take hold. And we thought that the silence and everybody was going to practice the stuff that they practiced and it was going to go away. No, it made it far worse. It made these things multiply a lot faster than it was actively trying to remove it. Now this is the actual consequence that all cultures can actually point to, as this is the outcome of what happens when you don't take control of the masculinity and don't have a level of consequences for people equally on both sides in society.
And this is the problem. I mean, it breeds an air of weakness that I'm not gonna lie, like I experience like culture shock a lot of times when just the most simple tasks become so difficult for the average person. And I get they live in a messed up society, but looking at it, man, is like, damn. I don't even know what to say sometimes, because they want to I've had people act as if they're doing me the great favor when I'm helping them, and it's like a weird go back between them. And finally I just say screw it and I walk away. Like, if I'm helping someone, they're doing that, it just turns me off the whole thing. And people have gotten, especially younger guys, they get mad at the jokes and they take it as a form of disrespect. And I have to tell one of my own guy kids that, you know, whenever I'm making jokes around you or making jokes about you, I do that for one of three reasons. One, because the situation has successfully made me uncomfortable and I'm trying to de-escalate it. Two, in order to, because that's just kind of how I bond. If I'm making a joke about you, like not every joke is a version of disrespect. Hell, make a joke about me. I'm okay with that. We could both laugh about it. If it's something that I know to be true, then I can't help but laugh about it. Like, oh, well, if you're a perfectionist about everything, yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself about A, B, and C. I mean, they don't know how to take a joke anymore. It's like a war on comedy, man. I mean, I hate having to walk on eggshells just to talk to somebody, because they might get pissed off and take it to from 1 to 100, take it to the extreme, and it's not even meant to be that way. And I tell them, you know, men joke with each other. That's what we do. That's why we do it. It's weird.
All right, cool, man. What's going on, Sir Trice? What's going on, man?
Hey, good afternoon. First of all, salute to the panel. Renaissance Man, Black Wolf. I'm not familiar with you, brothers, but salute to you. Is 48 Laws of Dating MGTOW dictionary?
Yeah, it is.
Hey, man, salute to your channel, man. I was on a watching binge, man. Yo, the way you exposing these cats, hey, man, salute. So much respect to you. And to you, MOT, I don't know, it's been 1.5 years or 2 years that you've been at these motherfuckers' heads, and even we've kind of butted heads on this. I'm like, well, no, some of them got some good things. Hey, man, you were right, which just ties into this topic. I can't stand these dudes. Anybody that has any knowledge of what they do, case in point, MOT, you can tell us a million different things about the transportation industry, right?
Yeah.
Anytime you ask them a direct question or something, it's all in this nebulous, the game recognized game. You got to be a player. You don't know. It just got to be in you. I mean, I heard you yesterday just asking the man a question. So was it in your youth that you had this magical gift? Or did it just happen? Man, it just happened. You just don't get it because y'all just look at things and it's like, man, shut the hell up. Go ahead. This is your channel.
I'm like, dude, it's called cross-examining. It's hard. What the fuck? Like, dude. All right. Super chat from Zero. No, y'all ain't. I'm just trying to be a real player now. For the real player, no game. Y'all gotta hustle. Come on, man. You could have spelled this shit right, Zero. Come on.
Hey, Zero.
Y'all lanes. Yeah, and it gets worse as you keep reading this shit.
Zero's mimicking on that dude.
In the game, stick to the innards. We got the streets. Yeah, apparently they do. But they online claiming that they got the streets on lock. So I don't understand
What on lock? They don't own shit. They don't run shit. The police can come and swarm the neighborhood when they choose. Like, you know what? Let's just upset the apple cart. I get tired of this. And then
or gentrification can happen. I just wanted to quickly jump in. Or if they decide that, hey, we're gonna, turn this into this property, you don't have a place to live anymore.
But you're exactly right. But you would think cats nowadays would know this. I mean, fellas, for those of you who didn't see the previous stream, this dude was trying to act like he was trying to have that little player thing. But give me your Instagram so we can take a look at you. And I'm like, yo, is that not some of the most goofiest shit to try to evaluate somebody? Man, I'm like, I mean, what do you say, MOT? When do street news go on Instagram or these online things for validation? Oh, I know. These modern ones do.
I mean, like Michael Franchise is a guy who is an actual mafia. I don't think he has an Instagram to which he brag on shit. I just don't think he does.
No, that's
these modern clowns do. I didn't want to take up the thunder. I just wanted to say that because that's one more point that I love you make to piggyback off of. All of this shit really boils down to, and I'm sure MGTOW Dictionary, you can ramble on endlessly on this. All this shit boils down to what she wants.
Yes.
Okay. And accommodating, so you are lame because of your interests, whatever those interests may be. But if Quita, I like killers, I like dudes who got bodies, because I know if he act out of line, I got his freedom, and that's their logic. And dudes are trying to fit into this. Let me add one more thing, and it's nothing that I haven't said publicly. Hey, salute, Marco. Actually, I'll say that on his platform. It's the man you were interviewing yesterday.
That I still can't believe someone really asked for someone's Instagram, another man's Instagram.
Did you hear that yourself live?
No, I was not on there. This is new. I'm just hearing that. I just can't believe someone literally asked, "Hey, let me see your Instagram so I can learn about you."
Yeah.
If that's not effeminate behavior.
We live in upside.
He tried to sneak it. No. What was so cool about it? Because I had to back up, and I'm like, did he just say that? He was, because Zero's point, and Zero could speak for himself, but Zero's point, which is, okay, we've heard your sob story or whatever and all this, now you coming at so-called lames, because he was like, nah, we real niggas over here, we don't be dealing with lame dudes, And then that's when Zero came in. He was like, well, check it out, player. What's your name again, player? Okay, give me your Instagram, because I know. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, all right. So let me stop over these super chats. Marco Grande sent two of them. One of them was, I got to see the game face to recognize your great game. The second one, I have like my Joker laugh from like the end of the fucking Justice League movie. Yeah, and the second one, I'm sorry, I just don't hear the game in your voice. Like, this is what it is. This is what it is.
Yeah, you gotta.
This is what it is, man.
You gotta make fun of guys like that, because I do it all the time. I mean, when I went to Natheo's stream, he's like, "So you're a MGTOW?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Have you ever?" The first question he asked me, "Have you ever been molested before? Is that why you don't like being touched?" And I just bust out laughing.
What?
Who asked that? Wait,
what?
Please tell me who asked that.
Like, ask Nathaniel, life
I'm not
coach advice, but there's some run-of-the-mill YouTuber.
That's some weird ass. That's Jesus.
That's why I had to drop the word out for him, because he's attacking the Manosphere.
That's weird everything. Squared. I mean, Jesus Christ.
That really caught me off guard. Like, really? I mean, I just started laughing at that. But this is the thing the guys do. I mean, and people were judging me for watching anime or whatever. And when guys do this, they get mad when I stop taking the conversation seriously and start making jokes. I mean, one of the jokes I made to the Instagram guys in the room was, "Yeah, man, I felt like a woman until I made an Instagram. That was when my nuts dropped, man. Now I'm complete. I made that Instagram. All that attention, bro."
Yeah, but what kills me just briefly is, I know you got somebody else joining. I was going to just simply say is how everything equates to the hood, or all things, like some of us ain't from these same areas. I mean, they act like they these unicorns on this level.
Yeah, and it's like they don't understand that their their stuff isn't unique. Like you said, other people grew up there too. Dictionary.
Excuse me. Can you say that again?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I
think you meant
unmuted. Yeah, I didn't know.
I think you meant Black Curls, MOT.
Oh yeah,
he's sorry. On the panel. Yeah.
Oh, curls. Unmute. What's going on, man?
What's up, panel? I'm familiar with most of you. I see Sir Tice, I think, a fantastic space. But you had some good points with Sir Tice earlier with him just giving the women all the power as much as possible. It was apparent in that interview MOT had with Aluminum Scrap Metal about, he said, you got to act right for the woman. I'm like, wait, act right for the woman. So I was like, don't you give her the power since you have to act right for her. You're accommodating for her. And then he showed his inner bitch when he was video game shaming. I'm like, what? That's literally a female talking point.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to find the Super Mario star music and shit. I wanted to play that shit, but the Super Mario World music was perfect too. It's like no, man, just keep explaining this bullshit, man. Just go ahead, man. No, it's not a big deal, man. Just go ahead, man.
But dude, you were actually, I mean, you normally have this, how do I say it? This smart ass angle you do with your questioning, but you were actually being just normal, with it. And the dude got frustrated and just left. Which is what he always does.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, it's very simple. This is your life. If I ask you a simplistic ass question that's based on the bullshit that you talk about, you better have a simple answer for my question.
You see, man, this is why you need me to dress up as Toad from Super Mario. And every time they do that, I'll look down and then look up. He's just angry because his princess is in another castle. Yeah,
man. This dude is a community mushroom retainer and don't even realize.
Don't even get me started on how he exited. He's like, man, no thirsty ass niggas. I'm gonna go chase these bitches. I'm like, wait, you calling
I mean, but he
chase these bitches.
Got off the panel, waited till I stopped talking. He came back like, oh, okay, man, we can pick this shit up where he left, and he fucking left again. I'm like, oh.
Oh, that happened? I must have stopped listening. Okay.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I'm gonna go back. Yeah, I need to. It was something I heard on another panel, and because I actually like the guy, it's just that
he's cool, man. It's just that, man. Look, make your points without calling other people lame and shit, because we're not trying to go out here and get the women that you got access to. I keep telling these people, look, if the women can have you acting like this motherfucker online, I don't want none of those fucking women. I don't want to be acting like that in public. I don't want to.
I was on a panel, and the topic, give me a second, I want to say it's about a month ago. I was on a panel of his, it was on his show, and it was actually a pretty cool conversation. It was, do women like intelligent men, right? And I said, my answer was just simply, it depends on the women. But if you're talking about the masses, no, that was just my general point. But we got down, and he was like, well, intelligent men tend to be tricks. So if I can get a chick out of her draws without paying money and you spend money, I said, dude, I don't spend money. But he's like, no, but I'm just saying, doesn't that make me more smarter than you? And I'm like, wait a minute, dude. You just said earlier you go to the titty bar. So how are you less of a trick than just your dumbass example you just explained? And I guess because he was in a logic trap, he just snapped on me.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. Like, once you bring logic to bitch ass niggas, they can't fucking handle that shit. No, they just fucking rage quit and get the fuck off the panel. What's going on, Zero?
What up, Zero?
Shit, what's up with y'all? Yo,
no, Zero, you gotta give me that voice again, Zero.
Y'all know that nigga was up there trying to sell his product, right?
What product?
You peeped that. You peeped that.
Yeah, I do it for $100 an hour. You know, my Patreon. Y'all need to come and
He came up there to sell his product because basically he was like, all you weak ass niggas need my help.
What? That's what he said? Like,
that was his sales pitch.
Yeah, I mean, there was a bunch of, what I'm saying, helmet class shit that was being said, so I had to like filter through that shit. So I couldn't motherfucking listen to that shit. I had to, listen with like logic and reason canceling headphones to like try to parse through that shit.
I got a question, a brief question for Zero.
Yeah.
Were you sitting back just kind of waiting, or you're like, nah, it's cool, he's got a good reform story, or did you sense the fuckery from the instance when he said the $100 an hour for his Patreon? He also got a tier.
I don't be giving a fuck about niggas' stop stories. They come on try to get their shit off. They ain't mean shit. I was waiting on the nigga to get to the point. He got up there. He did the same shit that most niggas do in the hood. Like they'll come through, try to get cool with everybody in the room, and then try to sell their bullshit. That's it. He did these same shit like that most niggas do. He just came through with his bullshit, and as soon as he got done getting his bullshit off, and everybody was like, "Okay, I'm not getting attacked yet. Okay, now I can go into my other bullshit."
They're hoes, man. I hate to say it,
I'm sorry, McDowell.
My bad. I was just gonna say they operate a lot like a hoe, man. And the weird part about it is, it's like we're all on land and these guys are drowning and they're throwing you a rope. Help! Like I'm trying to save you guys from drowning. I'm kind of that guy that plays devil advocate.
That's what I keep saying.
Over.
They do like bitches. Right. Like a bitch will come in and try to get cool with everybody in the room.
Yep.
Look, like Ron says, they're bitches with dicks.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. They're drowning and they're trying to save you. How weird is that?
And we're only just asking simplistic questions. And it's kind of like, when you have like the aluminum scrap metal dude, and it's like everything has to be front loaded with a gaslighting statement. But when you don't fall for it and you just bypass the statement and you be like, yeah, so what about my question? You're like, fuck, it's not working. It's not working. I can't derail the conversation. Damn, I gotta do something else. I'm like, okay, all right.
Their deflection tactics are exactly reminiscent of most chicks because that's the mindset that they come from.
No, the thing is, I wasn't even disrespecting the dude. He started the disrespect. I was like, oh, okay, we finna go here.
No, I know that. I was talking about Platt, particularly like that. But as far as you, did you say you get your Instagram set up to go forward them so he can evaluate you?
This is why I said like the Manosphere needs some fucking slurping sound effects. We need some slurping sound effects for the Manosphere because niggas started sucking his dick when he was like, oh, he got a big channel. So what? I know fuck niggas with millions of dollars, and
right,
for real. And it's like this shit work on people who ain't got no fucking sense. Like if we're having a substantive conversation, nobody gives a shit about what your background is. If you can't bring a substantive point to the topic that we have here, we're not going to be able to have a conversation. But like on a lot of these channels, they let these motherfuckers kind of run wild on the fucking channel and then they rage quit whenever their clout shit can't just overcome the actual points being made on the panel, which I don't give a fuck. I will ask hard ass fucking questions to make you look stupid as fuck. I don't care about this.
That nigga said you
I didn't know about
be able to look at me and know what type of nigga I am.
Right. I didn't know about the big channel at first. I thought it seems two common themes I see is either popularity or if it's a hood nigga sob story. They're like, yeah, he made it. Yeah, when he was like,
yeah, I was pimping for 5 years, and then
I can't remember all of it, but
I really thought he was Nino Brown. Really?
Yeah. I was looking at the comments, and I'm like, these niggas fall for. I mean, I won't say fall, but it's like everybody with the pom poms. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Because earlier the other nigga, the other fuck nigga, he got to get his sob story off about polygamy and shit on his alpha moves.
I didn't hear that one.
You know what I'm saying? But that nigga said you supposed to look at me and know what type of nigga I am. Like it's a whole aesthetic going on.
Oh no!
You get your fucking face tattoos and shit. Make yourself unemployable, all that other bullshit. And then niggas supposed to just know what type of nigga you is just by looking at you. And the thing is, it's a costume. So you get yourself a street nigga costume, and then niggas supposed to know what type of motherfucker you is. Game recognized game. They're like, no, nigga, I see the bitch behind your costume. That's what the fuck I'm looking at. looking at your dress.
Yeah, and it's like it's so hard to kind of nail these people down, and it's like they're everywhere. It's like this because it's easy and you don't have to show proof. Therefore, more frauds will end up exercising this type of nonsense online in front of men's faces. And I don't get why a dude would mortgage their credibility, the little that they do have, putting on this monkey suit and like acting a fool in front of people. It don't make no damn sense.
Even if there's proof, I mean, MGTOW Dictionary in the upper right-hand corner, I mean, they expose how these dudes hire motherfuckers, you know, to just for the flossing effect. My simple point is just very simple. Explain what it is that you do or your mindset or your philosophy. That's it.
Right,
without all this vague bullshit.
Actually,
I know vague is too big of a word for many of they asses, but goddamn, it's all the same old phrases, cliche catchphrases we've been hearing for years.
Yeah, all right. So you had like Blackfield Truth before his, other channel got knocked out. You had like 3 different videos of this guy trying mode 1 in like another country, man. That shit was funny as fuck. Damn, that shit was funny how this dude was just approaching motherfuckers with the with the mode 1 hardcore shit, and a couple of these women like dash drinks on the motherfucker and shit. I'm like,
he was getting shut down. And you know what happened with his first channel was ARC struck it because we had a video.
Wow,
he put his video up there, and it was ARC saying, "I've never been slapped by a woman. The only time I've been slapped." So he contradicted himself. Said he went up to this girl because she smiled and grabbed the titties, and she slapped them. Right. So he put that up there. That was a strike. Then this other dude, James Marshall, struck it from he's like an England dude in Russia or something, preying on women over there. These guys are sexual predators. You know, these women have came on my show and said, "Look, if we like you, we'll let you know. Get away from us." You know, Blackfield 2.0. You know, he started that because, and that's honestly, that's my favorite channel. He gets these clips that are just off the Richter scale. I mean,
they had a lot of your clips on that. That's I saw that. I didn't know that it got this deep that dudes are striking channels. I get the whole personal stuff, but okay, so
they're doxing people, they're contacting people's families. I had to expose all of that. The one guy taking pictures of people's kids, and it wasn't me looking for it. People were sending me this on email while I was live streaming because they knew I was probably the only one at the time that had the balls to air it. And I said, "Yeah, now what?" And then I'm not gonna call them out by name, but people know who it is. They have these live streams where they all just wish-wash against each other and scam. It's ridiculous. I mean, the stuff that's been dug up on them, it gets ugly. I mean, and a lot of the stuff, I told them, I just posed a question. Look, if game really worked, why are all the dating coaches married to ugly women? Wouldn't logic dictate that you would have good-looking women, but you don't. And then they prey on the misery of men. These guys, what people don't see straight out is that they create disgruntled, angry, humiliated, dangerous men that pop eventually. And that's not attributed to inceldom or Blackfield. That's directly with the red pill charlatans that sell these guys this myth of game. The man is getting rejected by women already. So you're telling me the answer is to go up to and harass basically 10 more women, or mode 1 them, where you basically will be in the pen if you do that to certain people. You do that in front of a girl that happens to have a boyfriend, like when ARC squeezed that girl's chest. What if she had a boyfriend that was nearby with a tool on him? He would have been done. You see, they don't think, and I had to call him out because he said that he has men sign contracts. And of course, that's because when your shit don't work, he can't sue you and ask for his money back. And if he gets fucked up for what he does that you recommended, you're free and clear. See, this is a problem. They don't want to take responsibility. They were never taught to take responsibility for their actions.
Yeah. Marco Grande, thanks for the Come on, Lawrence, man. You got to change that. You got to change that name, dude. I can't let you up there with that. But Marco Grande, thanks for the $5 super chat again. My classes for selfie and mirror pics are $55.
Yo, the worst part is that these niggas don't even like each other. Like all these dating the game niggas, like they don't even like each other because they all in competition with each other. And the crazy part about it is, if the shit worked, they wouldn't be in competition with each other.
Yeah, correct.
That's the irony of the whole shit. If they product worked, they wouldn't even be in competition with each other. Thus, they wouldn't have any fucking drama. But them niggas be on pins and needles with each other because the second either one of them get any leverage on the other one, they just start shitting on the nigga.
Yeah, correct.
In their mind, bro. In their mind, that's not life, man. You have to watch me go and hit on this woman, get slapped to get a restraining order, you know. But just keep at it, bro. Just gotta.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You almost threw that titanium wall, man.
They
What's going on, Lawrence?
You got to get better at the ass slap.
Yeah. And worse than that, there's 3 dudes in San Diego that doing time, 8 years a pop, because they gang raped a woman from efficientpickup.com, and then that dude Addy A Game in Scotland got 2 years and then got it reversed because he must have paid enough money to the right person. So they don't show all of this stuff. They don't show the other side of what it is. And like Zero said, if it worked, nobody would be, competing really the way they do. They're like rats in a hole that eat each other. All you gotta do is watch their behavior.
Yeah. So what's going on, Lawrence? What's going on, man?
Shalom, everybody. Shalom to the chat. Shalom to the panel.
Shalom, Lawrence.
So, bitches with dicks again, huh?
Yeah.
Yep, I said it. I wasn't sure if you were in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but it was street dudes this time. Street dudes.
Same thing. Same thing. Street dudes are emotional creatures. Bitches with dicks. Okay, so here's my viewpoint on it. And I don't think anybody would disagree. At the end of the day, these dudes don't just simply have to be found out. They don't have to simply be put in the front for everybody to see. It has to go beyond that now. They have to literally be systemically and systematically torn down and removed from the space and from life as a whole. Because see, when you get down to the nitty-gritty of it, and again, this is my perception, all of this, everything we go through as a quote-unquote community is founded in these motherfuckers. These are the motherfuckers who run the street and tear down the neighborhoods. These are the motherfuckers who won't be present to make sure that the women that are in their world are put in positions to be held accountable, to understand the way to move through life. These are the motherfuckers who are teaching sons the same damn thing. See, we can talk about single women and all that other crap all day, every day. But at the end of the day, like I've said 1,000 times before, this shit will always come back on men because we are the foundation. And when we have dumbass motherfuckers like these dudes, they look, calling them out is cool. I get it. But they have to be taken down. They have to be removed, yo.
Destroyed, not just.
I was trying to be cool because I had that in my title, but MOT said I couldn't have it.
I saw that title.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did. I saw it when you first came on, and then it switched off. But it was right, absolutely right. They need to be severely disciplined and removed. I mean, that's an example.
Absolutely. And I'm sorry not to cut you off, 48 Laws. And here's the thing about that. We have a lot of men coming in with red pill rage. You understand what I'm saying? For a variety of reasons, whether it's their mama, whether it's their girlfriend, whether it's whatever, it doesn't make a difference. Here's the thing. Those women only get away with that kind of shit when there are men who are not holding them fucking accountable. And those men that are not holding them accountable are the very ones we're talking about. So what happens when we destroy those motherfuckers, remove them from the process, and these bitches have nothing left to deal with but us.
Yeah, then they
They have to be held accountable.
Now you got to get your shit in order. Now you got to come to a full fucking understanding of exactly what you are, who you are, what you've done, and what it's gonna require to change your shit and fix it. And if you can't, then you get destroyed just like the useless motherfuckers we just got out of here. It's just that simple. This is not fucking rocket science. You don't need no PhD. You don't need no high school diploma. You don't need to come from the streets or come from the suburbs. This is common fucking sense.
See, this is what happens when natural selection has been removed. Like, we used to have this in the past. I know people living a lot longer than they ever have before, and I'm not hating that. I'm happy for the technological advancements, but the thing about it is, I mean, it was easier back then, you know. Oh, Bob eats all the food. Bob abuses everyone. Okay, we go on a hunting trip. What happened to Bob? Well, he punched lion. Lion punched back. He is with the spirits now.
Yeah, and like I said, that's the main problem, man. I mean, we just got dumb ass motherfuckers. Natural selection has to be put back into play, man. I mean, it just does, because until it doesn't, we gonna get this all the time. Look, using the example of the lion, right? Here's how I see it in a nutshell. Until the lion learns how to write, every story is going to glorify the hunter. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yep, that's true. That is very true.
You understand? Until that lion learns how to write, every story written will glorify the hunter. Period. Point blank. So the question is which one do we want to be? Do we want to be the lion, or do we want to be the hunter?
You know what the thing is, though, is that these guys that need to be removed, they're multiplying at an astonishing rate.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I was saying earlier. Unfortunately, with every society, stupid people tend to breed far more than intelligent people do, because they have no purpose, they have no aspirations, and eventually you just end up the lone man on the island. There was a story about this that a good friend of mine told me. He told me about this monkey that learned how to rub the sticks together and make fire. He goes back to the other monkeys and tries to show them, and they just kind of look at him like he's crazy, and they just shun him. And so he would still go and make his fire from day to day, and then he'd cover it at the end, because he realized that there was like no point in trying to show it to them, and not to mention they were hating him for something that was good. They either didn't understand it or they didn't want to, so they just went back to flinging shit at each other. And that's pretty essentially what it's like to be MGTOW, pretty much. I mean, it's not a movement. It's just an advanced way of thinking. It's a philosophy, but just the act of just saying, hey, I don't want to date these bad women anymore, that messes with their whole dynamic. And this is why when they get man callers rainbows or whatever, I make jokes about, like, yeah, I was in the park one day eating chicken wings and drinking, and then I realized, damn, I got to come out as MGTOW. Where's my parade? You know, I want a MGTOW parade where I'm just taking money and putting it back into my bank account. That'd be epic.
Yeah, I had to change my symbol because of that. That's why I said, you know what? Let me just put my different name. I changed it because there was too many of the MGTOWs that were just not what they are, you know. And I uncovered that was the first beef that happened back early last year. And then once that was smoke cleared, then I started, you know, the PUAs have been getting theirs for the last 8 months, because I was like, wow, these guys are even worse. Because when I talked to Faith, you know, I said, well, who's worse, the fake MGTOW or the PUA? He goes, no, the PUAs definitely. Cause they just
the PUAs are way worse, man. I fought religious people, trad cons, and like I remember some crazy Luigi dude kept throwing the swastika of whatever reason. I stopped him.
Trolls my stream.
I just want to say, fuck niggas are great. I think that, you know, the more that they hang around, you know, you just expose them and keep doing it. I personally believe that there should be a show similar to the one that Perfume has, where, you know, fuck niggas can call in, you know, especially all the employees of Fuck Nigga Enterprises. They call in, and you know, you have conversations with multiple fuck niggas about fuck nigga shit, and you just point out, you know, the problems that fuck nigga shit causes on air, like the same way, like you have the same fucking show.
Wait.
Get you a fucking theme song.
Who is that?
What?
Who is that?
Who you talking about?
7 Gramios.
Who's that talking?
Me. Zero.
Oh man! Oh, these logical. Yo, if I knew he was up here, I wouldn't have come up, yo. I can't deal with this. No, I'm just.
you get some dope theme music. You know, every show you fucking, you know, you put fuck nigga shit in the room. You make your room look like a representation of the hood. You know, like because fuck niggas like that. You put like a toy in front of the camera to distract them, and you know, just make them look at that for a while. I don't know. You could just like put a bitch counting money, like a bitch fingers, and it just counting the same bands over and over again. You know, left to right, then right
all
to left.
Ones.
Yeah, all ones. You stripper money and shit. You just have, or you just have a bitch twerking in the background. You know, she's slightly off camera. You know, in the periphery, and she's just twerking, and the niggas just just watch the video, and then. You know, you get the fucking show going, and you have bitch niggas call in, and they be like, yeah, so, you know, how's the fuck nigga life going? And then they tell you they get their shit off, and you be like, okay, you can see how I can have a problem with that. And they go, well, no, because, and then you put them in a logic trap, and before they get mad, you know, you start speaking bitchinese because that's what they respond to. You talk to them like a bitch, and you go, okay, listen, you know, you lower your voice a few octaves, and then you say, listen, all you have to do is not be a fuck nigga, and then, you know, your life will change significantly. And then they'll go, oh yeah, you're right, but I just feel like sometimes I'm misunderstood and people don't, you know, understand the streets. But well, I do, because, you know, I'm from the streets, and I know people that are from the streets, and I know you. We're talking, we're having a conversation, right? And you're like, yeah, you a real nigga. You're like, yeah, you know, and you build a fake ass rapport with these weak ass niggas, and then, you know, they call in, you give them some tough love, good advice, and then they hang up, and you move on to the next nigga. Do you know how much fucking money that you can make from YouTube AdSense alone?
See,
niggas ain't got no money for super chat.
See, that's the problem. That's what I'm talking about with people like you. You understand what I'm saying? Look, I like the fact that we're all wrapped up in our emotions. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not trying to find solutions. I'm not trying to find nothing. I'm just trying to get the cheddar and the pussy. That's all I'm trying to do, bro. And you logical motherfuckers be coming up in here. And I know y'all travel in packs. Where's that new motherfucker? I know he's in here somewhere. Yeah. I'm not having it. I'm not having it, man. I'm not having it. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not having it.
What's going on, Wacky Word? What's going on, man?
What's going on? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, what's going on? Menosphere 1.0.
Yo, what's up? Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
you got.
Okay, all right. The thing is with a lot of these PUA / fake players, fake, fake Mac daddies, whatever you want to call them on the internet. It's so funny that throughout their fake theology, they never speak about the quality of females that exist in society in mass. And they never speak about how their fake theology, fake game would actually improve the quality of the females, or would actually help males to find females that are of better quality. To them, it's all about getting males to somehow score and get lucky with females who are mostly of bad quality. And it's like, okay, how's that? Even if the game works, even if their game techniques works, how is that going to improve the lives of these males when they're hooking up with females that are of mostly bad quality? See, that's the route that these people are not. See, the people who pay attention to these fake plays online, they're not paying attention to that.
Okay, well, here's my question, and being serious for a minute. Going back to being serious instead of being silly. I get what you're saying, but there's a couple of things that come into play. Number one, is there really such a thing as a woman equality? That's number one. Number two, even if there was, that's not a man's purpose. It's not to chase after her or get with her or hook up with her. His job is to be on his purpose and achieving success in whatever field and industries he want to work in. So that's why with me, the pickup artists and all these other game motherfuckers don't make sense to me. And it makes even less sense when I'm watching people who's listening to them. Because again, we come back to receipts. You're talking about a high quality of woman, but when I look at yours, she's low quality. You're talking about getting your stuff together so you can chase any kind of woman, and you don't even have receipts showing that you've been able to be successful at what you're teaching. And then on top of that, if your game is to go out there and teach people on how to get women, why did you get locked down? I mean, the questions are endless, man.
But my thing is whether or not people believe that there is a such thing as high quality female or there isn't, or see, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm
then I misunderstood. I'm sorry.
Yeah. All I'm saying, I'm not whatever my thing is. Even if it works, you're still hooking up with fucked up females in this fucked up society. So
and that goes back to
it's not going to make the guy. But the whole thing I'm saying is that even if the game thing works, it's not going to make the lives of these gullible individuals any better.
Yeah.
Then that goes to my second. That goes to my second point. Then about there's no your job is not to chase them anyway. Your job is to be on your purpose.
Right, but I'm not even saying that. I'm not even saying you should chase them.
I can answer all those questions in one fell swoop.
No, I'm not CO Smooth, but go ahead. But I love him. I love CO Smooth, but I'm sorry to interrupt the other.
It actually makes the lives of the guys worse. It makes them angry. They're humiliated, and when they get with the woman that messes them up, now they're disgruntled. They become misogynist, and the guys that don't get with the women are angry because they got rejected 100 times. So either way, it makes the men angry and worse. It definitely doesn't make them better.
They're like drug addicts when it comes to pussy or alcoholics, and I laugh at it because I can answer that whole thing in one fell swoop to the guy that was asking the question earlier. They have this mentality of doesn't matter, had sex. Oh, well, it burns when I pee, but well, at least I had sex. I'm doing better than that guy living in the condo over there. That's how they equate success. You know how many
they don't
validate them.
You should equate success with that. So the way to solve this problem is for us to get this show off the ground. Like this, you know, like this has to happen.
You're dead serious.
So we call it the okay, so we need to work on the name because you have Fucking Nigga Enterprises. I have Fucking Nigga Life Up University. So we got to be able to come up with a good name to name this show.
Ballers Inc.
Yeah,
Ballers Inc.
That's taken.
High value fuck.
Really? Ballers Inc. is taken.
High value fuck.
Ballers Inc. is a business.
I have a name I've been using for the longest time. Whenever they get like that, I just say, "Hello, my name is Don Cornelius Fuckboy Extraordinaire." Give me money.
I mean, it doesn't even really need a name. They just, again, it's a call-in show, and I think it would do gangbusters. And you fucking, you get it. You just want to get them on the phone, man, because this is what people want to see.
No, I mean, but you need a woman to do that.
The Manosphere has proven that they want to see bitches talk on cam. So we just need to just add a new style of bitch, and then you just add these motherfuckers on there, and boom, voila, you got more bitches calling into the talk show.
Well, you're gonna need to have two. You're gonna need to have two hosts. Then one's gonna have to be male, one's gonna have to be female.
No,
well, actually,
you don't need that.
Podcast.
Actually, no, we can get like Sister George and like Jessica Executive.
Yeah, they can do it.
Yeah,
it could be a whole new fucking format. You just more bitches are calling in, and now we got a brand new talk show in the Manosphere is just doing crazy ass numbers, and more bitches are calling in. And I know people are going to be confused at first. Like, wait a minute, y'all said more bitches are calling in. You're like, yes, these bitches are calling into the show and getting their shit off, and they're like, but these are dudes. No, they're the bitches. You got to really kind of focus and understand who's calling into the show. And I'm telling y'all. Money, cash register.
Hey man, look. I already got sponsors up for these motherfuckers, man. And man, you can have like Mago Power Wash. You can have like game marinade, bubble bath. Oh man, this is tough. We can sell to this.
So
it'd be like a NASCAR uniform, bro.
Hey, what's up, Yuri?
What's up, Lauren? You have the sponsors straight up front, so you know. Who's actually?
I'm gonna get this fucking show off the ground.
100%. See, but the thing is, like, I was listening in the back, but I think we give these people way too much credit in the sense that we know what they're after. The only thing that they can do is sell disastrous outcomes because that's all they know. That's the only way that they actually function. if they were actually people that actually had to create something and put people to work and do all the stuff that we do, they wouldn't know how to function. So the only way they know how to function is to function the way they've always functioned, which is giving people disastrous results. And the PUAs just act as a foil on top of that, because you got people that aren't making the money that the PUAs are making that are basically standing in line trying to get their call up. It's like baseball.
I mean, I'm really surprised that the churches and the religious people and the PUAs don't team up.
Man, that's been done a long time ago.
The problem is that the PUA industry is a multi-million-dollar a year industry. That's what I didn't realize till last year. This is why they're fighting so vehemently to keep their position. James Marshall made $1 million off of 20 students. You know, so when you look at that,
what?
Yeah, you start to say, this is why. I looked at, somebody told me, man, if you were a dating coach, you'd be $1 million. And I said, yeah, but you got to make your money the right way, man. The ends does not justify the means. But this is why that there's always going to be the mass of stupid people ruled by a small amount of smart people. And there's a couple of us that are within this mass of stupid people. And the PUAs know this. I mean, these guys are men who have inferiority complexes that can't get women, and they get the money off of these guys who are even less than them. And what do they use that money to do? To get married. I've noticed the pattern. Mystery. Married.
What? To get married? Whoa.
Now look at the pattern. Look at the pattern. Mystery. Married a hoe. Now, not even married a decent one. Married a hoe with a child. Neil Strauss, his student, married with a child. David Giangelo, married with a child. You go down the line. Look at Dirty Eddie, Donovan Sharp, married, adopted his sister's drug-addicted kid. So super cuck. He's a double cuck right there. Then you got these other guys. Go down the list. They're all married with children or married to not really attractive women because they've fed themselves nutritionally deficient pussy for their whole lifetime. They never had a decent piece.
And that's what I said. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier about they don't even have what they're sending people out to go get.
Wait, who is this guy? He's been extraordinarily disrespectful.
Who?
Yeah. I mean, why is he bringing up fuck shit that fuck people are doing? That stuff is supposed to be, not put out there like that. That's the whole point. This is how the magic works. And
Hold on, because like I said before, we can't have you logical motherfuckers up in here, so we needed to counteract some of that shit.
Yeah, right.
That's why he's here.
But let me say this.
Bringing up important stuff.
No, we got zombies walking around the actual graveyard, man. We got.
Let me say this: as much as we talk about and critique the fake Max, fake players, PUAs, fake pimps, whatever you call them, right? At the end of the day, we have to give a side eye to the audience that's watching them, that's believing the type of shit that they say, for not utilizing critical thinking skills. Because
I said that earlier.
I get it that, okay, a lot of these fake Max, fake players, fake PUAs, I get it that they're targeting inexperienced males. But the thing is that you don't need to have that much experience with females to understand when someone is not making any damn sense when they speak.
There's a reason.
There's a time people like
this is
I watch different videos to entertain myself. So there's times that I watch like different PUAs and what have you, just to see what they talk about and to entertain myself, right? And it's like the first few minutes of what they saying I already know is bullshit. And it doesn't take me enough time to know that what's coming out their mouth is bullshit. It's to a point that I cannot even completely watch the whole entire video without laughing my ass off.
Well, see, okay, this is how these guys. This is how these guys are making money. that very group you're talking about with the audience. That's what I was saying earlier about not recognizing that they're sending you out to do stuff they're not even doing or have. But see, here's the thing. The way you get these people in the audience to buy into you, you get people who are desperate. right? You get people who are desperate and lonely or whatever have you may. But when you really keep digging deep down, these guys are afraid of the one thing we all had to learn when it comes to women: rejection.
Yeah.
These are soft ass niggas. They can't handle rejection. So they're trying to find somebody who can give them the tools that no matter what they do, when they do it, where they do it, who they do it with, they'll always win. That's what this comes down to. The audience, those people in that audience are afraid of rejection. They never got the tools and training that we did by trial and error or whatever, how any of us got it. But we deal with rejection. Okay. Hey, you want to go for a drink? No. Okay, bye. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to curse them out or anything. That's how these guys are making it. They're living off those dudes.
You know, this is why I always say, oh, I'm sorry. I interrupt you.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I was rambling. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I wanted to say that this is why I always make the joke, because I had a friend one time asked me, well, you wouldn't be saying that if you were a PUA. I looked at him and said, man, if I was a PUA, I'd be a divorce lawyer on the side. Might as well, if you're going to screw people over, might as well capitalize on it.
Right.
What were you going to say, Yuri?
Yeah, all I was saying is, I mean, obviously people want to bat 1,000 out. That's not something that we already don't know, considering the audience. But really, what it is you gotta understand that the game is basically built off of creating bigger and bigger suckers to sell to. That's all they're doing. They just know, like you said, Lawrence, that even if they're beta, the people that are watching them are more beta than they are, so they come off out. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, you ain't done. I'm sorry.
So at that point, the moment they trust the bullshit that you're selling them, you can sell them anything, and they'll be able to buy it as long as they're desperate. That's what the whole system is going off of.
You know, people with gamma and deltas and epsilons, they're not even betas, man. It's sad. You know, when you think of the dumbest person you know, half the society is twice as dumb as that. And this is what allows this multi-million-dollar a year industry to flourish. I was shocked when I found out it was that much money being made. Then I realized why they were so mad, and they eat each other like rats in a bucket. If you notice, they all steal from each other. They all with the game and this and that. Game is manipulation, point blank and simple. And the only person that's getting manipulated are their audiences. These guys, not only, like Lawrence said, not only do they want to deny rejection, they hate the truth. They don't want to know about the truth. And this is just something, I don't know if it's human behavior or whatever, but people, it's more profitable to sell lies. The truth is not profitable. The only profit you're going to get from the truth is when somebody buys the truth so they can bury it.
Yep. And not only is it not profitable, it's not popular.
Yeah.
You know, in response to what Lawrence was saying about how there are people who the customers of these fake Macs, fake PUAs, fake players are afraid of rejection, and they're trying to find a way to cover up or to replace rejection. You know, I'm just paraphrasing what Lawrence was saying, but to me, that's strange to me, because the thing is that rejection is unavoidable. Rejection is something every human being is going to have to face, whether it comes to rejection in relationships, rejection in employment, rejection in business. You know, you could even, you know, probably someone is looking to buy a house and you might get rejected on that. Somebody probably got made a better offer. So rejection is something that's unavoidable. So for people to actually try to utilize these fake Macs and these fake plays, or trying to rely on them as a way so they could avoid rejection, it is, to me, something strange. That's almost like trying to avoid breathing air. Like, you can't avoid breathing air. Same thing with rejection. Life, you're going to face rejection. Everybody's going to face some sort of rejection.
That's true. That's true. But here's the issue. Okay. If you get rejected from buying a house, you either save more money to avoid the rejection, or you move someplace else where you can get a house. If you get rejection from a job, you go look for another job. However, when it comes to rejection from women, Men who have not been taught stoicism, men who have not been taught how to move within their masculine frame, break down like little girls who got told they couldn't have a cookie. This is the nature of the type of men we're talking about. They just don't have the emotional gravitas to deal with situations like that. So they'll take rejection on everything else. It's just that when it comes to rejection with women, that literally destroys them. Does it make sense? Absolutely not.
I mean,
Absolutely.
no lie.
Then these are people that need to go to therapy. They need to go to a certified. They need to go to a certified psychologist or a therapist, not to these fake ways.
Oh, agreed.
Because to me, it's more heartbreaking getting rejected from a job that you really want to get. That's more heartbreaking than a female.
Agreed. Agreed. But
to me, that's what it is. But
agreed.
I'm not down with what you're saying, Lawrence. But if that's the case, they need to see a therapist. And I've been saying this for years about a lot of people in the space. But
that's absolutely true. And the thing about it is that you have to understand they don't have tools. They didn't have a father who taught them properly. Their mother probably mashed them down until they were nothing but crumbs. Society itself tells them they're worthless every damn day. You know what I'm saying? Women are using and abusing them every day. They have no tools on how to deal with it. None. So I'm not saying that what they're doing and what they're going through is correct, but I can understand how it started and why they are where they are now. Like I said, they'll take you and I and the rest of us on the panel in the chat. We got common sense. Hell yeah, I'd be more mad I couldn't get that 5-bedroom house I really wanted. I wanted that. That's more important to me than a piece of pussy, but not to these guys. These guys technically have achieved everything they wanted to achieve. They either got a job, they have a home, whatever it is. The only thing missing in their lives is a piece of pussy to share it with. And that's their one failing. And because of that, that's the problem. They fear rejection. They'll take rejection from anything else but a woman. And you have to understand that in order for them to be that type of person, and in order for the PUAs to be able to use them and financially rip them off, you're talking about fear. All of this comes back down to the basic fundamental of fear.
Yeah, it is. For everything you want is on the other side of fear. And what you said makes a good point. I've noticed that the guys that I've talked to, there's a majority of men in their late teens and 20s that are not only on medication, but they do have therapists. And it shocked me once. I was on a stream and I said, man, 3 guys out of 8 were talking about their therapist and their medication. And the host even was on medication and said he got off of it. And I'm saying to myself, wow, I let that pass me by. The fact that I don't take nothing and I've always been healthy, exercise. I've noticed that, wow, they've medicated a whole generation. And the guys in their 30s and 40s, it's easy to miss that. So when you speak to these guys in their 20s, these guys are highly medicated. They go to therapists. Social media, when you think of somebody who's 25, they have been raised since they were 15. And 10 years ago, 2011, the internet was on fire. It was on blast. When Tinder hit the scenes, it told everybody, hey, it's about looks. Ain't no profile, ain't no nothing. You like this, you swipe this way. You don't, you swipe that way. All about looks. Now you got to put your height on Tinder. So when people try to say, oh, looks and height don't matter, I'm like, really? Put up a Tinder profile and do a scientific experiment, and you'll see what really matters. These guys, it's the market, the sexual inflation is at an all-time high, and it's rising. You got women that don't even have to sleep with men anymore for money. They just show what they got, and they're getting money over the internet. It's ridiculous. Yeah. And, it's crazy.
And the hubris of it is that it goes even deeper than that. I mean, you could actually meet a girl, take her to dinner, you sit there, you buy her dinner, etc., and so on, and then she starts ordering off the menu extra stuff, and you look at her and like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm taking something home to my kids.
Yeah.
I mean the hubris of it, that you think you can just casually do that. you know what I mean? Yeah. So, but like I said, where these guys are concerned, man, this all comes down to fear, man. The fear of rejection, the fear of being alone, the fear of their peers looking at them strange because they don't have a woman when everybody else does. It's all fear, man. It's all fear based at the end of the day. And like I said, I'm not going to beat them up because they feel the way they feel. I mean, the only person who can change that is them as an individual. You know what I'm saying? They got to do the work. They got to build up whatever it is. I do put some onus on them for being stupid when it comes to pick up artists, because again, we're just talking basic common sense here. Like anything else, you get what you pay for. You feel what I'm saying?
It's kind of like somebody that's really hungry and they don't want to wait till they get home. So they stop at a fast food store and they eat something, and then they get sick when they get home. They say, man, I should have waited till I got home to eat. So they can't control themselves. And also it's a case of the grass is always greener on the other side. When a guy says, oh man, look at that guy with a girl. I said, if you really knew what that girl was about, you'd see how fortunate you were. That girl got 2 kids from somebody else. He's a cuck. He's with her doing that. Now, do you see how fortunate you are? You know, and it's a case of like with the being hungry and the store being close by. Like, you know, you think about that. You start to say, look, discipline, and you're absolutely right. Fear. They have to learn how to, you know, absence of fear is just idiocy, because if you don't got fear with crossing the road, the car's going to hit you. Control of your fear, you know, the courage, and that's the definition of courage. Control your fear. But they don't got men that they don't want to listen to guys like us. They want to take their medication, go to their therapy, turn on their phone, look at a screen all day, you know, and it's crazy. I mean, and it's getting worse. The roller coaster.
And that right there is where the problem comes in. Because that's where the level of stupidity for me, because you're sitting here and you have us on one side and you have the pickup artists on the other, and that person is sitting in the middle, and they can turn left and they can turn right, back and forth, listen to both sides, and they would still decide to go with the pickup artist. Now you're an idiot because you were given choices and you made your choice. So I got no sorrow for you. And then the medication and stuff like that, man, all that kicked in back in the 80s. By giving kids, especially young boys, because, you know, boys are too, Ritalin, saying everybody's got ADHD, and that's where all that stuff that kicked off in the 80s when they started just dumping kids with drugs. And the funny part, and bipolar and all that. And the funny part is that you're so quick to throw medication on somebody, regardless of who it is, when all you have to do is stop long enough to look at the eating patterns. Because this goes deeper than just lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this goes deeper than whether or not your father taught you the right way, your mother taught you. It's across the board. I mean, the way they're taught to dress, the way they're taught to talk, the way they're taught to eat, all this affects you chemically, man, across the board. That's why you have these dudes you have now. This is why I've been on panels talking about having your own garden and stuff like that. Look, man, they tripping. They tripping.
Thank you so much. I'm on the same note. You have your nutrition. Look, all right. I remember because I've been into the health and fitness for about 2 decades, and I was telling somebody, they're telling people, okay, look, you can't give fluoridated water to the baby in the bottle and the 1-year-old. Showing that, okay, so wait a minute. So what? Over 1 and so it's okay for us. So you know something's wrong. You need a water filter to get the fluoride out and other stuff out. That's point straight one. You know, you got to
just to make a quick note, you have to get a special filter for that too, because you can't just go in the store and buy a water Brita filter. And those things cost money because
you have to get reverse osmosis, and then you would also have, that's just the first thing. You need clear water. Then you got to look at what you're eating. I had guys stop fast food for like 21 days because you'll see a change after 21 days. Because I tell them, I said, look, when you study fast food, when I was a kid, it was called junk food. And within a few years, the media and everything changed. Oh, it's not junk food, it's fast food. I remember when Jack in the Box got caught selling kangaroo meat, all types of stuff when I was a kid. So
it was 1981, and the first time they introduced a McDonald's commercial specifically geared towards black people, and those were the only people in the commercial. And that ran for almost 20 years.
Wow. You see, you on point. And nobody wants... You know what people say when we talk about, hey, they're about to go to the fast food store. They're about to go to KFC. They don't know that Kentucky Fried Chicken had to switch to KFC because by law, cloning chicken, you can't call it chicken. So they said, okay, we'll call it KFC.
Mm-hmm.
Then people, we get cloned beef. The law to sell cloned beef came out in 2008. People don't even know what they're eating in the supermarket anymore. And like you said, it starts in the garden. It starts... You got to at least, if you produce 20, 30% of your food from the garden, you're making a start. There's a guy in LA, he said, man, growing fruit is like printing money.
It is.
You know?
Yeah, it's therapeutic too. I mean, I'm happy that I rarely ever go to the grocery store unless I want to, and just growing your own
Exactly.
food. It tastes better. It's better for you. And to answer your question, most of what people are consuming via fast food or some of the junk food or bad food they buy is usually soy and corn syrup or some variation of it, along with fake processed stuff that you really shouldn't be eating at all.
Oh yeah.
Because it's designed to kill you.
Yeah, because I'm close to about 53% of my food coming from my garden.
Wow.
Oh, awesome. Congratulations.
Okay.
Man.
So, oh no, I've been working on this for years, but like I said before, it's not just it's not you. Okay. If you grow an onion in your garden, and then I challenge you to go buy an onion from the store, and you cut a piece off of each one, you can tell the taste difference.
Oh yeah, big time.
I mean it's obvious. It's in your face, and I challenge you to do that with anything: cabbage, kale, lettuce, whatever you want to. It's radically different. You can tell the difference, and like I said, there's something to be said as a man from a purpose perspective. How you feel eating off the plate that you made from your own hard work.
The feeling is indescribable. It's a great feeling. You feel it. I can't even really explain. It's just a really, really great feeling. You're happy that everything that you have is provided to you by yourself. You know, I don't have to wait for anyone to give me anything or do anything. It feels great. I can't even describe it.
It's a feeling of satisfaction too, because I grow a lot of food, and I've noticed that one, you get the satisfaction of, wow, I saw the production of this. Something I did came to fruition. And then you getting that better taste, like what Lawrence was saying. And, it brings you closer to reality to say, oh, so this is where food comes from. Because we forget that the food store, that word is short for storage. So when you say, hey, I'm going to food storage, why don't I have a food storage? In the city, people don't realize how close to the edge they're living. 2-3 days, the trucks don't come in. You got zombie apocalypse on your hands. You got people straight. They don't understand. Yeah, they're in Fantasy Island. That's what I call it.
There's a story. Then, oh, my bad. You go first. Sorry.
No. You first.
Oh, I was saying when I was younger, there was this old Asian dude that told me this really funny story that I didn't get until later. He told me there was once a man running from a tiger. And so the guy runs and jumps off the cliff, and he's hanging on a branch. He looks down. There's another tiger waiting for him down there, and he sees this peach or this plum, and he eats it. And that was the best peach he had ever tasted. And I didn't understand what that story meant, but later I figured out sometimes you just have to live life. If you don't live it, you don't know what can happen. Mm-hmm. So you have to just kind of, don't wait for things. Just kind of go after. Yeah, that guy's fate was unfortunate, sure, but at the very least, he got out there and tried to do something.
Well, it's kind of like when you're about to bite the dust. Now everything you start to see how you start to appreciate it. It's sort of like you never, when you're about to lose your life. Now you're saying, "Wow, this is the best tasting thing I ever ate," because it's the last thing you're eating.
Yeah.
Same thing, in a lot of other instances in life. You don't realize how much it was until you lost it. You start to say, wow, man. And even when we make those promises, like, man, if I had it back, I'd act different. Sometimes we still go back on our word. We've been, people have been through a lot, man. It just, and now these last 10 years, I would have never dreamed of some of the stuff like this, man. It's off the handle. I mean, when I was a kid, when I think about it, and even in the 90s, we're going to think that we're going to have portable phones where we can talk, but I don't think too many people understood the texting thing. And then all of this stuff moving through the airwaves, and this is like some next level shit right now.
I mean, the radiation alone coming off the router in your house is insane. Man. And then they're talking and they're bumping everything up to 5G. And I had a guy who it was a while ago. I can't remember what channel, but he took a mini Geiger counter and he stood right next to his router. because he had 5G, and that sucker went off like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, I have something that touches it on the phone, and if the cell phone 12 inches away is the minimum. If you have it any closer than 12 inches, you're catching some serious radiation.
Right. Now you can shut a lot of that radiation out if you, like, say you're somebody who likes to sleep with your phone on your table next to your bed. You can cut about 60% or more of it if you take your phone and put it on airplane mode.
Yeah, or I make sure my phone's in the other room. I never sleep with it next to me. If you see an alarm clock has to be over 5 feet away from you, and you don't want plug sockets by your bed head or your bedside, I make sure I put my bed on the side where it's hard to find the side of a room with no plug sockets.
It is.
You know, and you look at this as, we have electricity in our body. These are things that nobody really wonders. And then they say, man, they're not feeling so good. They go to the doctor, and what do? Get a pill. They get a pill for something that they don't even. I tell somebody, how do you diagnose a psychological illness, something that you can't see on an x-ray, nothing like that, and then a pill is going to fix that? I'm like, what is, this is like a disconnected society, and a few of us, see, this is like on some of the stuff that I write every day. I tell guys you should write every day, read every day. And I said, it's kind of like we're in like a real life zombie movie. And George Romero, who made Dawn of the Dead, think about it. He made that movie in the setting of a mall, mocking the consumers of the mall like zombies. And where did the survivors go? They went to the mall, and there's a part in the movie where one of the guys says, oh, they're coming after us. And he goes, no, they're after the place. They got some memory of this place. And that movie has so many deep analogies. When you look at it, you start to say, wow, he was trying to tell people something. And we're right here on this show and other shows, we're like the survivors in the middle of this apocalypse of stupidity. Like you were saying, the average person is just gone out to lunch. The lights are on and nobody's home. And that's why they're easy prey for these PUAs and dating roaches and manipulation.
Man.
And that's why, and that's why they got to get their diet straight. If you get your diet straight, you'll flush a lot of chemicals and bad things out of your body naturally, in and of itself, because each plant has its purpose. And then if you do some exercise, and I mean moderate exercise, people think you got to do this thing where you got to work out 3 hours a day in a gym. It's just moderate exercise you need.
I mean, hell, sometimes a 35-minute walk is good enough. If that's all you do, at least it's something.
Exactly.
An hour. No more than an hour of work. Now, they don't realize the growth hormones is going to be released from your body for about 45 minutes to an hour. Anything over that is you're not really doing much. But I've noticed also a pattern with the PUA dating roaches. They all try to push this TRT thing. I did a whole expose.
I'm sorry. What is that?
What is TRT?
Testosterone replacement therapy. They try to say it isn't.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, God.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody.
Donovan Sharp, John Hogwood, Monolife Dating, and about 4 other guys of Bulldog Mindset, all of them. And I told them, I said, listen, you take this TRT and you try to work out. I said, how about eating right and exercising? How about that?
Eating right, exercising, and accepting the fact that as you get older, this is supposed to happen. Stop trying to change the laws of nature.
Yes. And then this is what they sell the guys. Hey, man, money and muscles and the game and all of this stuff. And I said, wait a minute, this guy takes steroids and still looks like shit. And this is why I had to come out and say, because one guy tried to call me. I said, look, here's a picture. I'm standing by my car. He goes, well, okay, you really are in better shape than him. I said, without steroids. I said, now, of course, I did 10,000 push-ups before I was 21. I was in the military. So I said, I always loved exercise. I said, but I was always afraid to take a needle or something. I knew it was wrong. I'm like, hey, I'd rather be slim than, this point of diminishing return, guys don't realize, there's an aesthetic to the human body. There's a point where athletic body is always much more preferred than a steroidal type bodybuilder type thing. But what do they push to us? They push this bodybuilding. And when people look back at the history of it, you know, nothing against people who want to choose that route of homosexuality, whatever, but that's what it was started by. The same thing with the modeling industry. I had talked to a psychologist and we had a deep conversation. He said, yeah, he goes, this is an open fact that the modeling industry was started by homosexual men in the 1890s. And this is why the model of a woman was replaced and put up as the body of an adolescent boy, a 6 foot tall, flat chested, flat ass woman. And till this day, he goes, if you interview men, they want more voluptuous women, but this is pushed to us. So like you said, cleaning up the body, the mind, the environment, you know, what you sleep around, and also what you feed your mind, this psychological food, and also the sexual food. It's like if you're screwing chicks that ain't nothing, that's nutritionally deficient pussy. Just the way you get nutritionally deficient food, you eat it, you hungry an hour later. Same thing with these hoes that these guys are smashing. I'm like, if you don't have something of substance, you're gonna want to smash something again and again and again because you're smashing garbage.
Well, first of all, there's no nutritional value to pussy anyway, as opposed to us as men with semen. No, I'm not being funny. As opposed to us as men with semen, our semen contains protein, yada yada yada, etc., and so on. They're just giving off waste.
Well, there are women that you can have sex with. Like I've had sex with some women where I'm like, okay, that wasn't really worth the squeeze, but some juice feels the worth of the squeeze. Like you feel satisfied, you know, after that, and you're good, you're satiated, right?
Oh, so you're talking about from an emotional point of view?
Well, I don't even know if it's more. Some of it could be emotional, but some of it's sexual too. Like if you get your rocks off, you know, you got some chicks you just get it off with, and it's just better, and then some chicks, it's like it's sort of like.
It's a combination of both.
So okay, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. There's a difference between being with a chick and you doing it and you're enjoying yourself, and then there's a chick who's just a dead lay. I get you.
If you're just doing it to do it, like especially these guys that try to go by lay count. Those guys, all they've ever had was nutritionally deficient pussy. That because they're saying, okay, I'm going to the next one. So nothing is ever going to. You always going to be an empty, hollow, walking shell of nothing. And
well, that should be the trick right there. The next time somebody lays claim about how much pussy they have, the question should be how much of it was quality.
Yeah, exactly. And once they mention their lay count, it's like, oh, you're a hollow individual. You're a walking dead. You ain't never gonna be satisfied. You're like those Pirates of the Caribbean that they can eat and their hunger don't get satisfied. You're nothing. You will always be a zombie. And what do zombies do? They seek to turn other people into zombies. What do we see these PUAs doing? Seek to turn other guys into what they are.
That's what I'm telling you, man. When it gets bad enough, I'm gonna wait for my moment. Put on that my best Rick Grimes persona and just say they got Carl. I don't know if it was the chips or that pocket pussy, but they got Carl.
Yeah, but like I said, man, man. Get that diet together, man, and just get the diet done, man. If you get nothing else done, get the diet done. You'll find out you think faster, you feel better, you got more concentration, more energy to hold. At least that.
Yeah.
Correct. No, I gotta be able to get up out of here, so that way that's where it's your.
Yeah. Well, I was just about to leave, but you know, the thing that I was thinking about while you guys were all talking was we have to really talk about, and we really have to understand from the lens that there was a pre-social media era and a post-social media era. A lot of this stuff that we consider to be common sense had to do with the fact that we were in an environment where you had to actually have outside interaction to get everything you needed to get done. So this whole thing, when social media actually happened, is the need to actually connect with people and understand what's happening goes away. So then you get desensitized towards what is actually good knowledge and what's bullshit, because you don't really know that yet. And that's what's happening with a lot of these dudes. These dudes are kind of, hanging out too much with virtual reality and a virtual existence. So when people who really know what they're talking about say what they're talking about, they can't compute it the right way. I see that all the time.
Yeah.
Whenever you try and, tell somebody, hey man, like this is what it is, it goes to attacking your age, like they'll call you a boomer or something else like that or whatever. But they never really talk about what you're telling them. They can't figure that out. They can't figure out what's good information versus just blanket stuff. And that's why they get caught. And from my perspective, I'm not here to save them like that. Fuck. I got a career and everything else I got to take care of. Fuck that shit. If they want to be, ignorant towards the world that's changing around them, that's fine.
All right, cool. Black Menosphere, you got some last word before we get up out of here?
Well, the only thing I can say is stay free, learn self-discipline, watch out for the fake MGTOW, the PUAs, and with everything, always know you have a choice and to weigh out the pros and cons. But ultimately, anyone could give you all the advice in the world. It's the hope and advice you give yourself. It's where you want to go that ultimately matters, because you only got one life. You're the only one that has to live that life. So always consider that above all else.
All right, cool. Thanks. Mark, you got something else for me? Last word before we get up out of here? Mark, you muted.
Hashtag men first.
Yes, indeed. Men first. And MGTOW Dictionary, you got something else before we get up out of here? I'll drop your link earlier so people can subscribe to your channel.
Thank you so much, man. I got your channel featured too. I'm going to drop the link on Saturday. Just thank you for having me, man, and I appreciate being on the panel with all of y'all. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Cool. For everybody else listening, there's no reason why we can just come together and talk about fraudulent stuff without nobody bickering or going back and forth or yelling and screaming at each other on panels. It's possible, man. It's just that, you just got to have your head about yourself and just make sure you just make your points without trying to just, taking stuff off the rails. So I want to thank everybody for coming too. Make sure y'all go to Fantastic's channel, because that's what's going on right now, apparently, in the people that I watch. But I got to go and get me something to eat. So I want to thank you guys for coming through. And these people cannot make their point of view because they're not right. They haven't even thought about the things that they're actually doing. The only thing is they're just right by default because they get, quote unquote, what they think is results until you cross-examine them. They can't handle being out there. So I want to thank all the panelists, MGTOW Dictionary, Black Wolf, Iori, Lawrence Guy, MGTOW Dictionary, who else forget? Oh, Renaissance.
Oh,
Black
Wacky was here. And
Wacky Roller. Oh, no, I want to thank you for coming through.
And Zero.
Oh, yeah.
Zero. Shout out.
All right. I want to thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for coming through. You guys have a really nice night. Peace.
All right.
Peace.